All right. We're live. What's going on, boys? Quarantine, episode 2. Ant's red hot. He's aggravated. He's got shit to say tonight. What's going on, Ant? Spread.
What's up, buddy?
What's up,
So
Jason?
go ahead, Ant.
How's
What's
the corona treating you? Well, I want to know how the COVID-19's treating you. You doing good?
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting like these 3 a.m. fucking 103 fevers, but other than that, I mean, I'm hanging in, man. Pop not so much, but you know, so far so good.
What's that music in the background?
Fucking the phenomenal Mr. Gary Clark Jr.
Gary Clark Jr. That name doesn't sound familiar, but the music sounded familiar.
Well, because he's doing an Aerosmith song.
No, the Beatles. Come on, Spread.
Well, Aerosmith did it too.
Yeah,
was a Beatles song?
I mean, I get Come Together. Yeah.
Oh, that was Come Together. No, that is a Beatles song.
That was yeah.
I don't know why I thought of the Aerosmith version.
That was the.
I don't know why either. I didn't even know
Gary Clark Jr.'s cover on the Justice League soundtrack.
Oh, I did not know about that.
Bro, he is so goddamn good, bro. He is just so goddamn good.
I'm gonna have to look into him and give him a chance.
Oh, you better. You're gonna have to give him a real look
and not immediately poo-poo him after 30 seconds of one song and claim his
you know who fucking who got me into it? Seth. He was he told me to watch an episode of Joe Rogan where Gary Clark Jr. was on, and I watched it and I started listening to his music. Fucking guy is amazing, man. So true. So how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Anything on your mind? Because like I got graphics and everything tonight.
Graphics for what?
For the Ant Rants.
For current events.
You cannot force an ant rant, Jay, and we can't.
The alcohol helps though.
Alcohol
will definitely help.
If it makes you feel better, I've been drinking. So.
Oh, good. Number 1. Boom. Bernie drops out.
What the fuck? You're just going to drop that on me? Well, first of all,
drop that right on you. Bernie Sanders out of the race. Ant owes me $100.
No, I do not owe you $100.
Here we go.
No, I did not bet that Bernie Sanders would be the Democratic nominee. I bet on the field to be the Democratic nominee, and you bet on Joe Biden. Last I checked, there's no Democratic nominee until after the convention.
There's nobody running against him. He's going to have to die.
He's 77 and riddled with dementia, and we're in the middle of a pandemic that specializes in killing old people.
Is that what we're going to do right now? We're going to wish death upon a public servant in order for me to not get $100.
But what I am going to tell you, though, is, okay, first of all, you and I, unlike a lot of people, you and I do understand how the political process works.
Yes.
And you are well aware of your side of the bet was Joe Biden will be the Democratic nominee for president. Correct. My side of the bet was anybody but Joe Biden. I'm not saying I'm not paying you the bet. I'm saying the bet does not get graded until after the Democratic National Convention. Now, what some people might not understand is Joe Biden can get a majority of the delegates. He can get 51% of the delegates in the first round of voting. And then he can go up on the stage and go, due to health reasons, I cannot accept your nomination, and I would like to give all my delegates to Elizabeth Warren, Andrew Cuomo, Kamala Harris. Pick a name out of a hat. It's in the rules. And then they would have another round of voting, and blah, 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 and boom, you can wind up with fucking Harry fucking Potter's actor as a goddamn Democratic nominee for president. That's how the rules go. That's how the rules of the conventions work. A lot of people might not be aware of that. But until the Democratic nomination process is over, which is not over until the committee or till the the National Committee is over, until Joe Biden stands up on the stage after all the rounds of voting from the delegates. No. Until he's on stage after all the rounds of voting from the delegates who vote for the nominee and then formally accepts the nomination and says the words, "I, Joe Biden, formally accept your nomination as presidential candidate for the Democratic Party for the 2020 election race," the bet's not graded. Now, am I saying you have a 99.5% chance of winning this bet, Jason? I am saying you have a 99.5% chance to win this bet. But you know what I'm not, Jay? That's what I'm not.
You're not going to pay me early.
No, I'm not Bet365. I don't pay out money lines on baseball games when a team takes a 4-run lead. I don't pay out bets on political bets.
All right. First of all, it's more like a 138-run lead. Okay, it's not a 4-run lead. Okay, so let's start there. Okay. What do you think?
Jay, I just say, you know this and I know this. A, he could die. B, he could they could pull the old switcheroo at the election.
My guy Ronnie Lofton says Ant ain't going down without exercising all options, Jay. You know the game, Ronnie. You know him. You know how he is. You know how he is.
Jay, I will 100%.
I'll be waiting until fucking Christmas to get that money. Jason? Like after he takes the nomination, it's going to be, let's see what happens in November. That's what's going to be next.
No, Jason, I understand. No, you and I made a bet. It's not my fault that I understand the rules of the bet better than you. I will 100% Scout's honor pay you that $100 after the Democratic National Convention.
I understand
and Joe Biden
of the Democratic Party a little bit better than you, buddy.
All I'm saying is the bet doesn't get graded until the convention when there's a formal nominee.
Well, could we just not wish death, though, on Joe Biden?
No, I wish that they're going to pull the old switcheroo at the convention.
Ryan
anyway,
pulls out. When was the last time that happened?
Ryan C. pulls out the rounders. Pay that man his money. Pay me, bitch. Pay.
When was the last time it happened, Ant?
1960s.
That's where we're going.
Which one was it?
Years.
The one after Kennedy got assassinated.
Lyndon B. Johnson?
No, the one after Johnson. They also the primaries.
Barry Goldwater? Who are you talking about?
The primaries didn't really work like back then the way they do now. Really, up until like the 1960s, it was really more like party elites chose it. And you really didn't have like people directly voting in primaries for them.
All right, before we move on, Spread, what's your thoughts on Bernie dropping out?
No, I haven't even gotten into Bernie dropping out yet.
Oh, here we go.
Well, Spread.
Here we go.
Greg needs to get his thoughts out of the way because I got some motherfucking thoughts on this motherfucker.
Yeah, I think you have more than me. I'm not really that surprised.
All right, Spread. Way to add to the show. All right, go ahead, Ant.
We're all here for the main event.
Well, let's just be honest here, all right? You take the Democratic field, okay?
Yeah.
And you go, all right, what are the positions from the Democratic voters that are the most popular among Democratic voters? What pulls really high among all the Democratic voters, okay? Let's see. Medicare for All pulls at like 80%. Oh, who's for Medicare for All? Bernie motherfucking Sanders, who has literally, as recently as 3 weeks ago, said he would veto a Medicare for All bill if it went to his desk. I don't know. Joe motherfucking Biden. What else do Democrats voters love? Oh, how about, student loan debt forgiveness? Seeing as how the student loan crisis is exploding in this country, it's going to be the single biggest handicap to our economy outside this COVID-19. Who's for student loan debt forgiveness? Oh, I don't know. Bernie motherfucking Sanders. Who's not for student loan debt forgiveness or even looking at the issue? Joe Biden. What other issue are Democratic voters interested in? Oh, I don't know. Raising the minimum wage. Oh, my God. If there's one thing from federal level to state level to local municipality levels that just gets Democratic voters' dicks harder than a fucking porno actor's dick, it's raising the minimum wage.
I don't know what this man is saying right now.
Dude, nothing gets you more excited as a Democratic voter than raising the minimum wage. Guess who's for raising the minimum wage? You got one guess as to who's for raising the minimum wage. Bernie Sanders. You know who's not for raising the minimum wage? I don't know. Joe fucking Biden. Now, if you're a Republican voter and you're like, yeah, Anthony, that's bullshit. That's one thing. But if you're a Democratic voter, why the fuck are you voting for Joe Biden?
Do we know for a fact that Joe Biden is against raising the minimum wage?
He's a conservative, Jay. He's gone multiple times. He's tried cutting Social Security and Medicare. His entire political history has been surrounded with him trying to make cuts to that. He fucking authored the bankruptcy bill. The bankruptcy bill, by the way, which was so bad for American families, which was such a terrible piece of legislation and such a huge giveaway to the bankers. You know what got Elizabeth Warren out of her public position or her role in what was she in the role with? She had this role in the Obama administration where she was like crafting bills that were good for people. Anyways, what got her into senatorial politics was her opposition to Joe Biden writing the fucking bankruptcy bill because she wanted to come into the Senate and try and get that fucking thing repealed. All right. Oh, wait a minute. The crime bill. You got all the people of color in this country. You're like, we sure do love Joe Biden. He was Barack Obama's vice president, so that makes Joe Biden awesome. You know what else Joe Biden did? He wrote the fucking crime bill. You know what the crime bill is kind of partly responsible for? I don't know. The reason why black kids don't have fathers in this country because they're all in jail. That's Joe Biden, people. But yeah, you're right. Let's have this guy with a terrible fucking record. If you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, you love Joe Biden. But if you're a Democrat, you got this guy with a terrible fucking record from issue to issue to issue to issue. I mean, with Democrats like Joe Biden, who the fuck needs Republicans? Am I right?
You know what? Do you know what all that means in a nutshell?
It means nothing because people are stupid.
It means you owe me $100.
Fuck you. But no. But like seriously, all of that shit. He's a fucking. You take all of that crap. You get all that together. You already have a terrible candidate, and on top of that, he's got dementia, dude. The dude can't form a fucking sentence.
I'll tell you, man. I was like really paying attention to him trying to hold the conversation. He cannot like coherently finish one thought to completion.
Here's the deal. Like I've already had private conversations with you about it. My mom's got early stage dementia, and I'm just going to be honest with people. She is more lucid and coherent than Joe Biden by tenfold.
Isn't Trump Trump is fucking has early onset dementia too, right?
No, Trump is already the oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go ahead.
But don't you think that like even Trump could put a sentence together better than Biden, as sad as that is?
Trump is already calling Biden out for not knowing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Did you see that bit where there was during one of Trump's terrible press conferences on the coronavirus?
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't even understand what I'm saying. He said something like
that. Yeah, she said, Joe Biden tweeted this out. And Trump's like, Joe Biden didn't tweet nothing out. The Democratic operative did. But this is Joe Biden's tweet. Joe Biden didn't tweet that. Joe Biden doesn't know how to tweet. Joe Biden doesn't watch the comment in the tweet was on was on blah, blah, blah. And Trump was like, Joe Biden doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't watch this, and if he did, he wouldn't understand what's going on. It's like, wow. Yeah, so Trump's already going after Joe Biden. You know who didn't go after Joe Biden, and that's why they lost?
Bernie
Sanders. You know why Bernie Sanders lost?
Because he didn't go after Joe Biden.
Because he's a fucking pussy. That's why. That's the notes I have right here. Bernie lost because he's a pussy. He's a
You wrote
pussy.
that down on a piece of paper?
Yes, I did. Right there. Bernie lost.
Welcome into our guys in the chat. Kevin Taylor, J.A. Real Trucker, my guy, somewhere in California right now, in an 18-wheeler, doing his goddamn thing, listening to us. What's up, Joe Morawski? What's up, Ryan C? M Fam, Ice Rose, where are my goddamn cookies? Ronnie Lofton, Fap Win. What's going on, boys? Happy Friday.
Well, here's the other problem, too. They've actually had Bernie Sanders staffers complaining. They've actually come out and said, we tried to get him to go after Joe Biden. We tried to get him to talk about the corruption. We tried to get him to go after, really hammer him on this and that. Even bring up the dementia issue. Bernie Sanders refused. He refused. He's like, no. Joe Biden's a good man. I can't do that. I can't play dirty. Because Bernie Sanders is sitting up there in Vermont for the last 40 years, just winning election after election, not having to try. Because it's like he's up there being all, socialist and shit. And people in Vermont are like, socialism ain't too shabby. We like
Kevin
Bernie.
said, look out. It's going to the notes.
But Bernie hasn't really had to fucking get down and dirty and fight. And Bro, he refused to do it.
What do you mean? It's over.
Yeah, I know, because he didn't fight for it. You know what, Barack? He's on. Here's how you knew when Bernie Sanders forfeited the fucking primary. When he's on stage going, Joe Biden is my friend, and I do believe that Joe Biden could beat Donald Trump. Dude, you're in a primary against the guy. Why the fuck are you telling people that you're trying to get to vote for you instead of him that he can beat Trump?
Fap wants to know, how did Trump get that Oompa Loompa skin? He was a white guy. Well, I think it's like that tanner.
Spray tan.
Yeah, like he spray tans. Think about this, okay? Somewhere in Washington, D.C. right now, there is somebody where their job is to spray tan Donald Trump. Think about that. Like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, me? Oh, I spray tan a fucking half naked Donald Trump every day. That's what I do for a living. How about you? Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. Oh, yeah. So what was your goal in life? To spray tan the fucking president of the United States? Vince McMahon's bronzer. Yes. Seriously.
That old flappy body. Do you think it's just the face and the hands, or do you think they have to spray tan?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it goes definitely past the neck. I think it goes. Joe says, why hasn't Barack endorsed Biden yet? It seems odd. It does seem odd because he doesn't want, he knows he's out of his fucking mind. He spent 8 years with him.
Well, here's the other thing you got to think about too. All right. So let's wheel it back. Remember when Bernie refused to really attack Hillary Clinton? Oh, I think everybody can agree that we're all tired of hearing about your emails, Hillary. And then, you know what Barack Obama did in 2008 when he was in the primary against Hillary, when it was Barack versus Hillary? Gloves off, knockout blows. Barack Obama went coast to coast telling everyone that Hillary Clinton was an out-of-touch elitist, taking all the money, corrupt as can be, the most corrupt politician of all time. The videos are still up on YouTube if anybody's really that interested.
I sent you an invite too. I don't know. Anthony didn't get his either. I'll send another one, buddy.
Yeah, but so like Barack Obama wrote the playbook on how to win a primary. You don't go soft on your opponents because you're trying to beat them. Bernie Sanders didn't get that fucking memo. So here's the deal, Jay. Bernie Sanders lost the primary because he's a fucking pussy. And I'll tell you what, you know who they're probably going to do a bait and switch on? You can change the graphic, by the way, because we're segueing.
All right, number 2, and this is a big man on campus. Thinks that you're wrong because I've had conversations with him. I'll tell you that right now. And Joe Morawski also thinks you're wrong because he placed a bet. Number 2, baboosh. The media love for Governor Cuomo is fugazi. Go ahead, Ant.
Governor Cuomo is just Joe Biden, but coherent. Like everybody's sitting up on stage going, "Oh my God, Andrew Cuomo, he's just another Joe Biden, but he's coherent." Like people don't like the thing about Andrew Cuomo is what most Americans outside of New York City see of Andrew Cuomo is just this guy looking all leadership like on fucking TV during his COVID-19 things, but no one knows what he's doing to New York and what he's done to fuck over New York the entire time he's been there. Again, with Democrats like this, who needs Republicans? Do you want me to read an article off of the Huffington Post for you? I can read it.
By the way, I'd rather you didn't.
Jay, what are we in right now? What are we in the middle of right now?
What do you mean? My guy Twatty Latte in the house. What's going on, Matt?
Hi, Matt. Anyways, I'm going to read this headline for you, Jay, and then you tell me if this is the kind of ultra progressive leadership we need from our Democratic governors and potential presidential nominees. Off the Huffington Post, Andrew Cuomo uses budget to cut Medicaid and settle political scores. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has struck a deal with state lawmakers to enact a budget that cuts billions of dollars a year from the state's Medicaid system and other social programs and punishes his political enemies in the Progressive Working Families Party. If you don't know what the Working Families Party is, they're a far left-wing third party registered in the state of New York that use their moderate political clout to try and pull the Democrats more left. Basically, they're like Bernie Sanders is in Vermont. Cuomo, whose daily press conferences about the COVID-19 pandemic have turned him into a national media darling, has endured some pushback in recent days, though, as he's trying to cut $2.5 billion a year from the New York State Medicaid budget. And this is April 3rd, like literally a week ago. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and Cuomo is pushing through a Medicaid cut in his state of over $2.5 billion.
Well,
this is the epitome of liberalism that we fucking want.
All right, take a breath. Joe Morawski says the media and New York love him, and that's all that counts. Twatty, what's your thoughts on Governor Cuomo coming across as like the Democratic savior to take the nomination from Biden?
Well, I mean, I think he's going to be obviously way too far. He's not going to be able to come in at the last minute and steal the nominee. But I don't have a problem with Cuomo, actually. You got to come hard for your constituents, right? And they're all doing it, and they all seem like assholes to the rest of the country, but they're all trying to kill it for their home states. And so he goes on TV every day. He goes on TV every day, cries about him not having the supplies. And maybe the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I don't know.
I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on Spread's girlfriend. She says Trump has a skin disorder. He doesn't tan. I'm calling bullshit on that. He 100% tan.
Here's my response to Matt when Matt says people think he's killing it for his home state. I mean, he's killing people in his home state because his response to the COVID-19 pandemic has been the worst of any governor in the country.
Low blow, bro.
It's an extremely low blow, but am I wrong?
I mean, I don't know. I see him on there every day trying to get supplies and bitching and moaning for his people.
He's bitching and moaning for his people while he cuts the state's Medicaid budget.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked into it that deep to speak on that, but and on the surface, it looks like he's sure trying, whether he is or not.
I can dig a little bit deeper for you guys.
I'd rather you didn't.
Hold on. Let me get into this. All right.
I'd rather you didn't.
No, this is from the article. The plan for Medicaid cuts includes $400 million to reduce payments to hospitals, tighter eligibility for certain long-term care benefits, and massive shift in costs of the state's county governments, the financial strength of which the financial strength of which varies greatly. In other words, he's pushing all the burden onto the counties and cutting all the benefits. The new budget also will maintain levels of state education funding, which activists consider a de facto cut since the cost of schooling rises every year. In other words, he wants to keep in the next year's budget the state education budget flat, which everyone knows with inflation being at least 2% every year, that's a cut. For example, the impoverished Rochester School District has already announced that it plans to eliminate 236 jobs in order to fund the coming school year because of the upcoming budget from Cuomo's office. So everyone who said, boy, Andrew Cuomo sure is awesome. Andrew Cuomo's awesome because he's on TV and can form a coherent sentence, meanwhile the president can't. Dig deeper. The guy is a fucking wolf in sheep's clothing. Like I said with Joe Biden. With Democrats like these, who the fuck needs Republicans? I mean,
right.
This is what...
Can we move on to number 3?
No, hold on. No, Jay, because I'm not fucking done. This is what... If anybody's ever been on Twitter and they see that vote blue no matter who, because we just got to get the Republicans out, that's all over like Democratic.
Are you trying
Twitter.
To say you're right? Are you voting for Trump right now?
No. What I'm saying is this is what vote blue no matter who gets you. It gets you Republicans in Democratic clothing. There's no Democrat, there's no liberal, there's no left-wing party in this country anymore. This is why I'm baffled at people who are like Republicans, especially around where I'm at, because, you know, I live in the Midwest and 70% of the people around here are Republican, where they go, oh, the Democrats are so evil. Oh, the Democrats are blah, blah, blah. Oh, the stuff the Democrats are going to do. I'm like, what, you mean the exact same things Republicans do?
I'll tell you what, bro, at our core, we are gamblers, and I want to bet $10,000 that Trump gets reelected.
I want you to bet $10,000.
I just don't see how he loses.
Me either.
I just don't see how.
I can live with 4 more years of Trump as long as you would guarantee me in 4 years I had a good candidate. You know, I'm a Democrat, so.
Why do you agree? Do you agree? Even with this pandemic, he gets reelected.
Yeah, well, I think that maybe because of it, as much as he's fucked this thing up, people, it's like you have the guy that you've lived with. It's like the girlfriend you've lived with for the last 4 years. You want to get rid of that girl and find a new girl who has all sorts of problems? Yep. Or you want to live with the girl you already know her fucked up issues?
Hey, exactly, yep. Matt. Do you want to stay with the girl who you know is kind of retarded, or you want to dump her for a girl that's got dementia? I mean,
Kevin Taylor would like to point out that you've talked for 27 of the 31 minutes of the show so far.
I'd like to point out to Kevin Taylor that was actually how the show is structured.
Yeah, like I'm trying.
No, these are the ant rants.
I'm trying to push through the 5 ant rants because then I got a whole top 10 of like sports current events that we can talk about.
Really?
So, and like, yeah, do you think we can move to number 3, bro?
We already did that one. Oh, that's 2. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Could we move to number 3, Ant?
What's it? What is number 3? You keep going from 1 to 2. I sent you 5 topics.
Yeah. COVID-19.
Oh my God. These motherfuckers
are retarded. Hey. No disrespect.
Have you fucking listened to any of this crap, dude?
I actually wrote it.
No disrespect.
I actually wrote it out. COVID-19 conspiracy theories are retarded. No disrespect.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So this got me going because I don't want to say my cousin's husband and one of my good friends are both in on this conspiracy theory. Did you know that, Jay? I want you to understand something. Did you realize what's passing COVID-19 to everybody is? Guess what's passing around COVID-19 and spreading it to the world?
What?
What isn't a guess? Greg, guess.
Greg isn't even here. He doesn't even realize he's on a show right now.
Matt, what is
no, my
spreading
computer froze
COVID-19
again.
across the world? Oh, okay.
I mean, I can only go off of what's been reported. I mean, I would have no knowledge of what's actually going on.
Did you know that it's actually the 5G towers and the governments are using?
Oh, okay. No, I know now though.
Yeah. Do you know why? Yeah. So my I would just say acquaintances, they posted on Facebook a graph showing where all the 5G towers are in the world and also kind of showing where all the COVID-19 spread is at. And they're like, boy, there's a lot of correlation there. I don't believe it coincidences. What are they not telling you? And then I'm pointing out, like, I don't know. Have you noticed that all those 5G towers are in highly populated areas and COVID-19 spreads faster and easier in highly densely populated areas? I had another buddy, all right?
What would the 5G have to do with a virus anyway?
Your guess is as good as mine, Matthew. Your guess is as good as mine. Enlighten me on this one because I'm dumbfounded.
I see no correlation.
Okay. I swear to motherfucking God, this is what this motherfucker said. And this is why this motherfucker's retarded. And Jay, put in some disrespect on this motherfucker. They're trying to spread the COVID virus. They're trying to spread out the COVID-19 virus, right? To make us all take a vaccine that's got trackers in it so they will track us. So the governments can track our movements and where we're at. I'm sorry. Not only is that fucking stupid, but they can already track you. You see this? This is called a phone. You know what's on? You know what this phone has? A GPS. You know what everyone has on them? Their motherfucking phone. The government can already fucking see what you're doing, you fucking idiot. They don't need to trick you into getting a fucking vaccine with some microscopic GPS in it to fucking figure out what you're doing, you fucking moron. You live in Shenandoah, Iowa. No, the government doesn't even know Shenandoah, Iowa exists. You think they give a fucking shit about you? You have a phone, you idiot. They fucking can tell where you're at all times. Every time I see you, you know what you're on? Your fucking phone, looking up conspiracy theories on Facebook. I know where you're at, you moron.
He's retarded. No disrespect.
You know we're going to be using that every time now.
Damn fucking shit on this.
Every time we call someone stupid or a fucking idiot.
I'm sorry. I can get mad about Andrew Cuomo. I can get mad about Bernie Sanders. I can get fucking mad about all kinds of other fucking shit. But nothing makes me more mad than fucking idiots going, 5G networks are spreading coronavirus, and we're going to get the fucking the vaccine's going to track us. Are you that fucking stupid?
Get the heart doctor on call, Ronnie Lofton said.
God damn it. You got any coke?
You sound like you're an 8-ball deep right now. What do you mean?
I got worked up there a bit there. I apologize. Please forgive me.
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy either. Like, I hear all these conspiracies, not just on this, on everything. That's not to say that the government's never lied to us. We all know that they have, but I'm not these ones that go down these crazy conspiracy theories. I generally think it is what it is, but and again, I'm sure the government has lied to us. There's no doubt, and they've been caught in lies. But I'm not the type that's just gonna accuse every strange thing of being a conspiracy theory. There's a lot of those out there.
What happened to fucking Fred?
Couldn't take it.
He couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. I love it. All right, number 4. Fuck Hobby Lobby. You got anything left in the tank yet?
Why? What are they doing?
I'm not sure, but he told me.
I know that they're one of the businesses that are closed on Sundays, I think. Them and Chick-fil-A and something else. I think that's accurate.
My husband just texted me, asked me what the fuck I'm going off about.
You mean your boyfriend? Because you're not fucking married. You mean your boyfriend?
Suck my dick. No.
What's your fucking issue with Hobby Lobby, bro?
Oh, remember that time last week when we read the statement from the Hobby Lobby owner?
Yes, I do. How they were so caring and so understanding about what was happening, and
his wife is the prayer warrior in the family.
Yeah, the wife was the prayer warrior. They had everybody's back that worked for the company. Yeah.
Hold on. So a couple days ago, they announced that they are closing all their stores and furloughing every single one of their employees and encouraging them to go ahead and file for unemployment.
So they fired people? They laid them off?
They closed all their stores and furloughed every single one of their store employees and encouraged them all to file for unemployment.
Yeah, furloughed means they're going to bring them back. So, things change. I mean, you could have a position, you could take a position at the beginning of the pandemic thinking it's not going to be 6 months or a year, and you take a position that we're going to bring everybody back, and then it gets worse, and you change your position.
Would you allow me to shit on Hobby Lobby here?
My fault. I wouldn't want to be the voice of reason here. Go ahead.
No, how dare you? How dare you?
Fuck you, Matt. Okay, Matt. Voice of reason.
No disrespect.
No, but my point is like the guy. Let's have some context here. And generally speaking, lots of companies are having to furlough employees. The reason my issue is Jay and I had a whole segment reading verbatim all 5 paragraphs of this company memo last week of him going on and on and on to his employees about how the good Lord will pull them through, and through the power of prayer, they're going to blah 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 blah. You know, we're going to stand by you, yada yada yada. And then just 1 week later, he furloughs them all, which is understandable, but then says, go ahead and file unemployment. You know, because I have $7.7 billion. It's a privately owned company, so it's not like I have a board of directors that's going to fire me if I don't hit this quarter's profit margins. It's not like I have stockholders to fucking answer to because, oh my God, the stock price went down 15 cents. How dare you treat your employees like human beings? No, it's a privately owned company, and he's worth $7.7 billion. He can't keep his employees on the payroll for a few months until they reopen all the stores.
Ryan says they did the employees a favor.
Well, I'll get to that. But Ian, this is exactly what happened to me. This is exactly what you're saying about Hobby Lobby is exactly what happened to me. We closed the doors because we were a non-essential business, and they said, we're going to keep you guys on payroll, thinking it was only going to be a month. Well, a month has gone by, and then they told us to go for unemployment because they can't carry payroll for more than a month. They did it. They paid us to not work for a month, and they just can't afford to keep doing it. So they told us to go on to payroll. Now, going to what that guy just said, they did him a favor. They probably are doing us a favor. I mean, it's because I'm going to get the max unemployment, and I'm going to get an additional $600 a month. What do you guys think of that? Or $600 a week? What do you guys think of that? That's way too much fucking money. They shouldn't be giving me that much money. They're wanting people to fucking not work.
What's the max unemployment?
Like, well, in Pennsylvania, it's around $500 a week, but then they're giving you an additional $600 tax-free. So I'm going to be making 11. Now, I'm not a piece of shit, not going to sit on my ass. I'm going to go back to work. But what I'm saying is there are a lot of piece of shits out there that are going to have that $1,100 a week tax-free and not try to find fucking jobs.
Here's the thing, though, is they don't want you finding jobs right now because they want you staying your ass. They want you to stay your ass at home. So they want
for the people that are not for the people who were not laid off for the corona, for other reasons, they want those fuckers to go back to work.
Yeah, but basically what they're trying to do, Matt, is this is like a one-time thing. It's not like, 5 months from now you're still going to be getting, double.
Well, I think it's for 4 months, and then they're going to extend it.
Well, if you really think they're going to extend it after 4 months, I mean, have you ever looked at Congress try to pass anything?
Wait, why are you getting an extra $600 a week?
That's what not only am I getting it, everybody in the United States is getting it.
Every week?
Every week, an additional $6. Now, some of the states, your maximum is only like $200 or $300 a week.
I thought it was $1,200 a month. Everybody got.
No, it's a one-time payment of $1,200.
Yeah. And then everybody gets $600 a week on top of your unemployment.
Which I'll be lucky enough that I'll be towards the max, which is around 5 or 525 or something.
So you're getting $1,100 a week right now?
Yeah, tax free.
Fuck me.
Did you already get it?
Well, no, the 600 is tax free.
I'm sitting here grinding away, day trading Bitcoin. Jesus Christ.
No, you already got your first $1,100 payment?
I have not.
Damn,
I probably won't. I won't have it for probably 3 weeks. They're so backed up.
Yeah, and think about how much money you're going to save too with all the casinos being out, so you're not going to be able to martingale blackjack. I mean, by the time this is all done, you're going to be able to buy a second Cadillac.
I know. Well, I still got to pay off this Cadillac.
Martingale and blackjack. That's funny, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been out like in a month and a half.
How many miles? You're not putting any miles on that baby?
What's that?
You haven't put any miles on that baby?
No, as a matter of fact, I only put 4,000 on it last year or something. But
oh wow,
yeah. But no, you're right. I've been sick because I haven't been able to go out drinking and acting a fool. So I've been saving some money.
Well, maybe when you get done with this whole thing, you could trade that Cadillac in for a real luxury car. Get yourself a nice.
Here we go.
Get yourself a nice Mercedes.
So how did you go from that yellow fucking Dodge Stratus to a Mercedes or whatever the hell you did?
Because I lived very frugally.
Oh, okay.
I had more. I mean, honestly, my husband asked me why the fuck I was still driving that Cavalier for 14 years. I'm like, because it runs. And he's like, you look ridiculous. Buy something else.
You're an adult and you have a yellow car.
So, are the liquor stores open, Matt?
Well, they closed, but I saw something that
they're closed. They're not.
Oh yeah.
Businesses?
Yeah, the liquor store's closed.
Here's what I heard. You can still get into the grocery store, right?
Our liquor stores are open out here.
But I think they just reopened. But here's what's amazing about the non-essentials. Like, they've closed all the non-essential businesses, but church is closed, but the beer distributor is open. Like, what is this about? Like, my local beer distributor is open, but my church down the road is not.
Well, because one brings happiness and joy to people, and the other one's church.
Saw that one coming.
For that one.
No, it's funny though that you mentioned that you can't go outside and that everything's shut down because.
Well, I can go outside.
I mean, Jay, that's a perfect segue.
All right, yeah, number 5, which I have no idea what this even means. Okay, but number 5 is Nebraska, Iowa, and the Dakotas tell the rest of the nation, catch me outside. How about that? The fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, explain this one, Ant.
So, right here, this is an article off of ABC News. I'll just go ahead and read it to you. Even as most Americans are under orders from their governor to stay at home to slow the spread of the coronavirus, leaders in a handful of states have steadfastly refused to take that action, arguing it's unneeded and could be harmful. North Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Arkansas are the only states right now where there's no one under a stay-at-home order. The lack of action from those governors, even as they take other steps such as closing schools and limiting the size of gatherings, has frustrated health experts and left some residents puzzled. If social distancing maneuvers are going to work, they're most likely going to work if you do them early, said Arthur L. Rangold, a professor from some fucking liberal university in California that we don't care about. The longer you wait,
which one?
Berkeley. The longer you wait, the harder it is for them to have substantial impact.
Aaron Rodgers' alma mater?
Yeah.
You don't care about Aaron Rodgers' school?
Right.
I'm offended by that.
They're also ignoring a message from Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, who has said all states should have a statewide orders that people remain at home. So what is your opinion, Jason, on the fact that North Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Arkansas are basically saying, hey, catch me outside? How about that?
I think it's amazing that there are still states right now that don't have mandatory stay-at-home orders. I think it's fucking ridiculous, and it's just going to postpone sports coming back. That's what I think.
Do you think some people in North Dakota ever have to more than 10 people in the same place at a time anyway?
Probably
really?
not.
Jay,
Probably not.
Jay, let me explain something to you. This might baffle you, right? Like, you guys make fun of me for being from like a small area or whatever. Like, the city of Omaha that I live in, I mean, it's got about 400 to 500,000 people in the city proper, maybe 1 million in the metro area. Between the Dakotas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Arkansas, I live in the largest population center of any of those 5 states. I mean,
So you don't have mandatory stay at home right now. Everything's open, Ant?
Yeah.
I can go to the grocery store, pharmacy, bank, shit like that.
A lot of places, I would say, restaurants are still open. All restaurants and bars are open for takeout. You cannot.
Yeah, so is ours.
Yeah, everything's open for takeout. There's a lot of places that are shut down. Like, non-essential businesses have closed, but there's no gatherings of over 10 people. I mean, most of the churches, the gatherings of 10 or more people also include churches. Most churches are doing a Zoom and live and webcasting.
I mean, that sounds like what we're doing here in Pennsylvania.
But you see those pictures of guys getting tackled by cops on the beach because they're going for a jog on the beach, I don't know, the communist regime over there in California. But in here in Nebraska, if I pop open and look outside, there's 3 people walking their dog outside. No one.
Yeah, we could be outside. We could walk around. We could go do whatever we want.
Yeah,
but the mall's not open. You know what I mean?
Right. What's not open?
The mall.
Could you go to the mall?
If the mall is open anyways, no one goes to the mall.
But could you go to the mall right now in Nebraska if you wanted to?
I wouldn't know. I haven't been in the mall in 10 years.
Because if you could, that's just absurd.
I went to the park. I went to the park to play basketball yesterday, and there was people hiking and people on the swing sets, and so you're allowed out of your house. You just can't congregate.
Yeah, I'll tell you, right now, when you go to the Walmart, they have counters at the front gate. They have half of the front entrances shut off to where you have to go through one door. And they have counters outside. They're counting everyone that goes in and counting everyone that comes out to make sure only a certain amount of people are in the Walmart at a certain time at a same amount of time. Because we all know how big Walmarts are. It's hard to go. And then when you go into eating establishment, they have all those signage. 6 feet. You go into a gas station, right? There's a line 3 feet behind the counter at every gas station that I've been into for however long. And I drive a truck for a living, so I'm in a gas station 3 times a day. Every gas station's got this fucking tape line that you got to stand behind, and then the cash register, they have their tape line that they stand behind, and you're always 6 feet apart from each other, and they have social distancing up everywhere. Even in bumfuck little towns, they got all this. It's not just in the cities like Omaha and Lincoln, but it's in fucking small 500 person towns way out 5 counties over, that I got to go to for my job. Even in these little towns, they're observing these social distancing rules. So I don't really know what a shutdown order or a manual stay-at-home order is really going to do beyond what they're already doing. Outside of a couple of population centers, you're just talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles of farmland where all the towns are rural areas are just really rural. There's not that many people out there, dude.
I saw today, I was looking at the stats that 48%, I think, of every case in the United States is in the New York City metro.
Yeah. So, we want to talk crap about, these people aren't under a stay-at-home order. How about we worry about the fucking part of the country that's going to give it to all of us, Jay's neck of the woods.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, counting like that South Connecticut, New York City, and in Jersey, I think they were almost 50% of all the cases.
Yeah, it's that, and that's the governor that people think is handling this great, not the governor in California that's stemmed the curve pretty good. Like California's had hardly any cases given relative to the population, or that governor up there in Washington who's been doing a really good job. Like Washington was ground zero at first, we thought, and then it turned out, wow, they actually bounced that curve out pretty good. They've handled things pretty well.
Well, that's a good segue for some sports current events. Because I think that Gavin Newsom is a piece of shit. And I'll tell you why.
I know why.
Do you know why?
Because he banged his best friend's wife.
No, yeah. UFC.
Not only that, okay, but yes, thank you, Twatty. UFC 249, right in my fucking brown eye, canceled. Boom. So Senator Feinstein and Gavin Newsom reach out to the fucking CEO at Disney.
Dianne Feinstein, that fucking corrupt cunt.
Fucking slut. That 98-year-old fucking hua, okay?
That fucking, she wouldn't, no one would even know who she was if Harvey Milk hadn't gotten himself assassinated.
I'm disgusted, bro. Okay. I really am. So Dana White gets a
Google it, Greg.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's just a
Dana White talking about Ant.
Dana White gets a phone call from the head of fucking Disney and ESPN. They tell him stand down, even though everything was in place. We were going to have an event next weekend, UFC 249, and then they were back. They were going right back to the normal schedule. He's already building Fight Island for the international fights. He has promised that they will be the first sport back at it. But next weekend, UFC 249, right in the fucking shitter, right in my brown eye. I'm disgusted. I'm sick to my stomach. And anybody have any thoughts on that?
The terrible part is not only did we lose Khabib Tony, we lost Tony Gaethje. We lost two great fights out of this fucking melee.
And the card was phenomenal.
It was, yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell you right now, I'm disappointed that it got canceled because I would have liked to seen it. But remember that time when you and Dave got mad at me for telling you guys it was more than likely not going to happen? So please temper your expectations. Although I hope it happens, I don't think it will. So please don't get super upset when it turns out that it gets canceled.
To that I say, go fuck yourself. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
I'm just saying, Noel gave me so much shit in that chat in our little DMs. You guys gave me so much shit for saying you guys know this probably is going to happen. And you're like, Dana White will make it happen, and you got to have faith. And I'm like, I just don't think it's going to happen.
I think he would have until the big gun stepped in.
Yeah, what is ESPN doing waiting? They knew Dana was trying to push this the whole time. Dana's been on
Plotty. Once the location leaked and they found out where it was, that's when the pressure started. It was on some Indian reservation.
Right,
and
yeah.
He promised that little shitty casino on that Indian reservation that he will have a big event there.
I believe him.
Yeah, so do I.
Wait, so are you saying that when the people of California found out it was going to be on an Indian reservation, they nixed it because they weren't going to be getting any of the money?
No, because once they knew where it was, that would have because I think California right now, like nobody out of state can enter into the state, and that would have violated their order of not allowing anybody that doesn't live in the state into the state right now.
Well, who the hell wants to go into California anyways? That state's overrun by communists.
But this is what I'm saying, Jay. Every state's that way. So why did ESPN let him twirl in the wind till the very last? They knew he was trying to get a spot for the last month. And then so the week before, they're like, oh, okay, fuck it. We don't feel comfortable with it.
Yep. I really don't have an answer.
No, that's good for that Indian reservation. And I believe Dana. I think he will. I think if he can do it, he will.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. But man, it was something that at least we had the UFC, right? And
we had the UFC.
Well, one thing that I was thinking about today, that if we can get all these sports back, the beautiful thing is they're all gonna overlap each other. You know, if we get NBA back, we get baseball back, then it's gonna run into college football and NFL and hockey. If we can get hockey back, maybe all this will overlap each other. You know what I mean?
Did you just say getting baseball back, Matt?
Well, yeah, they're getting baseball.
Jay, that's a pretty good segue. Did you see what they were talking about with baseball, Jason?
Yeah, but that's number 3 on my list.
Okay, well, we can wait.
Okay. So settle the fuck down, Ant. How about that?
Well, I mean, Twatty just naturally segued us into number 3. What's number 2?
Why aren't they in order, man? What the fuck? Number 2, XFL.
I didn't know you. I That's funny because when you were talking about topics, I didn't think you were even going to talk about it.
The XFL is.
We barely even talked about it while it was going on.
I know. I didn't even talk about it. This is what I wrote down. The XFL is dead. They have suspended operations. They have laid off staff. The COO, Jeffrey Pollock, has no plans to return in 2021. Bam. The NFL just dropped the pandemic on your face. Game over. It's done. No more XFL.
Well, I don't think the NFL even considered them competition, right? It was going to be like a farm league.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I guess for the guys that were selling XFL packages, fuck you. Now you can't sell shit.
Well, I mean, a league like this, all it's going to take is one little hiccup for them to fucking go under. For a league like this to work, everything has to run perfect, smoothly. You have to hit your numbers. And if you have a hiccup like a fucking pandemic, you're not making it through that. So I was actually pretty impressed with the XFL. I did watch them. I thought that they could hang on. But, you know, you're going to go through something like this.
But Twatty, with the amount of money that they put into it, right? Didn't you think it was at least going to be around through the pandemic? I mean, McMahon really took it a shot this time. You know.
No, I think there's very few things that you're going to make it through this. I mean, obviously the big four will, but no, for a league like the XFL to take a hit like this, and I don't know what it means, you know, financially, but it's got to mean something. I'm not shocked that, you know, that they're going to go away. But fuck, what was the other one last year? Didn't even make it through the season, right? Or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And they had a contract with NBC and NFL, and I don't know.
And you got anything on the XFL, Ant? I think it was the AAF, wasn't it?
Oh, right.
Do you really need to ask me that?
Yeah, I mean,
I watched 10 minutes of that league. I could. My opinion on a league that like 15 people watched that only existed for 4 weeks. Yeah, I mean, let's move along.
Let's move along. He says.
No, I mean, you guys can keep talking about it if you want. I don't give a shit.
The Steelers actually, I think they signed 3 of their players to their practice squad.
Did they really?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Number 3, possible Major League Baseball realignment. MLB talking about a possible realignment of divisions for the 2020 regular season. Teams would play in Arizona and Florida in the Cactus League and Grapefruit League, all spring training sites all the time. Is that what you guys heard? Same thing?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I can be in the same division as Ant. Let's go.
What are your thoughts on that? I have no thoughts. It's baseball. So take it away, Twatty, Ant, Spread.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Pirates, I mean, they're not like contenders anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But they're going to be in with Phillies, Yankees, Boston, Twins, Braves, Rays, Cardinals, Mets, Astros, and Nationals. What? What? The Cactus League has, who are their good teams? They have the Dodgers, the Reds, and the Cubs.
The Diamondbacks and A's.
So Matt,
right, those are 500. Hey, right, Matt, I got you.
Let's
A's won 97 game last year.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, I want to point this out. So in the South, you got the Twins, Braves, and Rays. The Twins are going to win 100 games this year, probably. The Braves were probably going to be close to the 90-win team again this year. And the Rays were my dark horse to make the World Series out of the AL. You also have in another division, the Nats, the Astros, the Mets, and the Cardinals. Are you fucking kidding me? Those are all above 500 teams. The Mets, I mean, Jay's already painfully aware of what I think of the Mets. The Nationals are going to be good again, and the Astros are probably, the second or third best team in baseball. Now we go over to the other side, all right? The Brewers, the Padres, the Rockets.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking Mariners. Look at that.
And I have the Brewers as a big-time underachieving team. So they look okay on paper, but I think they're going to be terrible.
Preseason, Matt, I had the Brewers as the ceiling being like 82 wins. I thought the Brewers were going to be like a mid-70s win team.
They're terrible.
And they're the best team in this fucking division. Oh, my God. I mean, the Cubs have a chance to make the World Series. The only other good teams.
We'll get to play you a lot, Ant. That'll be fun if that happens.
Yeah. I mean, the A's are still good, and I like the Diamondbacks as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, the A's are good. I really do like the A's. I think the Diamondbacks are good. But honestly, oh, my God. It's not balanced is the point that Matt and I were getting at there. This is not competitively balanced. But what are you going to do?
When do you think sports are coming back, though? Like, do you even think we'll see anything in June? I would say no.
I do. I do.
You do?
I mean, at a certain point, the economic, disaster, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's going to be, civil unrest. I mean, you can tell everyone to stay home, but once people start missing mortgage payments and –
But the billionaires and millionaires of pro sports leagues will be the last to cause civil unrest, right?
No, I'm just saying, I think that there's going to be, right now, the big thing is to say stay at home. I think within the next month there is going to be a groundswell, kind of grassroots, okay, let's get this thing back going. We're not going to stay inside.
17 million jobless claims in 3 weeks. Can you fucking imagine?
No, it's terrible. I can't even imagine what my neighborhood's going to be like when all this stuff comes back. I was just thinking all the restaurants that I probably like to go to are going to be gone. Burger King's still going to be there and Taco Bell's still going to be there. But all the local ones, the mom and pops that I like to go to, they're probably not going to make it. It's just
Burger King and Taco Bell are not restaurants. They're garbage. And
right, but you understand my point, right?
Oh, I understand your point immensely because I already have a restaurant in my area that's closed down that I've eaten on this show from DoorDash no fewer than a half a dozen times. Smitty's Garage Burgers is closed.
For good?
I don't know if they're closed for good, but they're closed right now. Smitty's Garage Burgers, and I want to kill myself.
Oh, everything is closed around me, bro. Almost everything.
They were the best burger place in Omaha. If you were to be like, hey, Anthony, I'm flying into Omaha because we're going to go
to see Creighton in the Final Four.
Yeah, because we're going to go see Creighton or, we're going to go see Nebraska, Ohio State or whatever, because that'd be the only reason why you would fly to Omaha anyways is to, for some sports related thing. But if you were like, hey, Anthony, I'm flying into Omaha for some sports related shit for the show, I'm like, okay, cool. You know where I would take you if you're like, hey, I want to get a burger? Smitty's Garage Burgers. And it's fucking closed. And I just want to fucking stab myself. That place was so goddamn delicious.
So, Twatty, and do you think we see sports in June?
Well, no. Here's my position. If the trend keeps going up, we're not going to the people aren't going to demand to play sports because we're not that stupid. I mean, we're not going to. There's still a pandemic. We're not going to be like, we demand you guys go out there and play. But if we level it off and it starts to come down, then I think we can start exploring it. But if it continues to go up or even levels off, it doesn't make sense, I think. And I think the American people will be smart enough to be like, why are we going to go play this game when we don't have this under control? But I think if we can see it level off and maybe start to come down, then we're all going to be like, get back on the fucking field. Let's go.
So the question is, so you don't think that it's going to level off by June?
Well, no one really knows that. I mean, they're saying it's starting to level off now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. Like I know in California, it's gone down. Like it's, the rate has actually gone down. The infection rate's gone down.
We got to give it a little time though, spread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give it a month to see if it continues.
You don't got to call it spread on this show. We're on first name basis here.
That's my position. I think that there won't be an uproar unless we have showed that it's contained or it's improving. I'm not going to get all pissed off that they're not playing if fucking we don't have it under control. You know what I mean?
Hey, I agree with Matt. In one caveat to what Matt's saying is like they don't have to play in front of fans.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going back. They're going back in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I mean,
yeah. Right.
What I'm looking at here with the proposal, I mean, a lot of people have opinions on it on Twitter, and I think everyone's opinion on it is stupid because it's not that they're stupid. I just think it's like, why have an opinion on it? It is what it is. It's one of those things where it's like if they are able to, if we think it's controlled enough to where these guys can play in front of empty stadiums and they can work out the logistics, then it's better than nothing. So it's it's either this, spring training league thing so we can get some goddamn baseball in, or it's no baseball. And I'd rather watch some baseball. So, I mean, do I like it? No, I don't. I think it's fucking, Matt and I just looked at it. That's like completely, it's unbalanced competitively, blah, blah, blah. Beggars can't be choosers, though. So complaining about it isn't going to achieve anything. So there's no
point in complaining. Yeah. So they would take like the winner of the North-South.
Yeah, they said they said it would still be playoffs as usual. So you still get your wild cards, and the playoff structure would be the same. It's just obviously the division lineup is different, and obviously how many games they play. Obviously, I guess there'd also be no interleague play because the Grapefruit League is in Florida, and the Cactus League's in Arizona.
What's up, Jeff?
How are you guys?
Hanging in, man, I guess.
I'm pretty good, Jeff. How are you?
I'm having kind of a weird week, but I'm good.
You missed my Andrew Cuomo rant. I apologize.
Jeff would have been on the other side of that rant.
Can't believe I missed that one.
Yeah, you definitely would have been on the other side of it.
I think I was I may have been on the other side a little bit of it.
Well, look, I mean, he's the best. He would be the best person to win an election against Trump. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Listen, I don't like the family. I'm not a big Chris Cuomo guy, but I think Cuomo, he's I'm able to deal with him. I don't mind him. I think he's done a pretty good job.
Like I told Jay, with Democrats like that, what's the point of even having Republicans?
Anthony thinks he's like so conservative that he's not even close to a liberal.
Yeah, at the same time, he says we're all communists in California, so I don't get that. Every Democrat that's on the thing is a Republican, but then we're communists out here.
Greg, when I go off on my rants about being mad at Bernie, and when I go off on my rants about Joe Biden and certain members of the Democrats being corrupt and way too conservative for me, that's like my real political beliefs. when I joke to Jay and you about being fucking coastal commie liberal snobs or whatever, that's just me fucking around.
Okay, well, you got me there.
Jeff, what do you think about the possible proposal for the MLB with the Grapefruit League, Cactus League?
I mean, I like this idea.
We see sports in June.
I like this idea way better than the other one. Like a way better. I mean, I think
what was the other one?
Well, the other one was the. Don't have to do. Sorry, did I?
Sorry, that was me. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, the other one was basically they would play like at certain like parks out in that area, and like it would be like just regular divisions. It'd be like a regular season, except it would be, they'd all stay at one hotel, blah, blah, blah. This is a little different where they're playing at like their own site. So they're familiar with the area. They played there. They played exhibition games. So I think it's, for a lot of people, I think it's a little bit better as far as just the comfort of being in those surroundings. And I actually kind of like the idea because it would mean the Phillies and the Yankees would be in the same division. And that would be fascinating, I feel like, to watch.
Aren't you like a Philadelphia native Yankee fan?
I am. I'm a Yankee fan, yeah. But I don't have a beef with the Phillies. I hope they do well. I mean, I just grew up as a Philly or a Yankee fan, and that's kind of how it's always been. But I think it'd be fascinating to have it. Plus, I think the Phillies would be, the Yankees probably be first, Phillies be second. So I think it'd be a fascinating division to watch. And the playoffs are going to be the same. I mean, it's really the same idea.
Jeff, the Phillies wouldn't probably be second. They would definitely be second. Those other three teams are terrible.
Yeah, no, the other teams stink. I mean, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Toronto. I mean, I think the Phillies would almost welcome it for sure. You don't got to see the Nationals, the Braves, and the Mets, which.
What's your opinion on the Cactus League division with the Brewers, Padres, Mariners, Rangers, and Royals?
Yeah. Listen, I've said before, I like Arizona a lot. I think they get a way better draw in this. I mean, which would be great. I mean, they'd really have to be. It would be the Cubs. I mean, that would be their real, and maybe if you like the A's, but yeah, that division. That division with the Brewers. I actually like the Padres, to be honest. I like that young pitching staff they have there. I like that bullpen. And obviously, I like some of the big boppers they've added recently, with like Machado and guys like that. So. Yeah, I actually like this idea better than regular baseball. Like, I feel like we should do this for good. Like, obviously, we'll figure in the parks and stuff, but let's do this for good. I love these divisions. Let's just do this going forward.
Did you expect?
I don't know about. I think you might have jumped the shark there for a smidge.
Why?
I don't know about doing this for good, but
why?
I mean, I have no problem with them doing this now.
Get rid of the DH shit. Get rid of
get rid of the not having a DH. Have a DH universal.
No DH. No, ever.
Listen, there should be a DH. Listen, Spread. It makes no sense. It's a league and a baseball. It's a sport.
Yeah, let's pile up on Greg.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But it's a sport that basically has rules that are different. Like, think if it was soccer and there were, instead of 11 on the team, one team had 11 and the other team had 10. Like, it's not even fair. Like,
well, yeah, you just get a red card.
Yeah, it's not fair. Like, why does one league
just like, it's funny because I'm an A's fan, so obviously I watch more American League Baseball, but I do like the idea of having the pitcher have to hit and the way the manager has to manage that lineup.
And the thing
rather than just 9 hitters.
Greg, then make it both leagues then. It's got to be
uniform. No, that's what I'm saying. But make it uniform, but let's go no DH. Let's get some pitchers back at the plate.
Here's my opinion on this one. It's a little bit more nuanced because I do like, quote unquote, the strategy that you do have to come up with in working around the fact that you have a pitcher coming up in the lineup.
Right.
And it is fun when you get those pitchers like Greinke and
Madison Bumgarner
and Bumgarner who can hit.
Yeah.
So it is kind of fun to watch some of those hitters, some of those pitchers who can't hit. But I don't think having 3 or 4 pitchers at any given time in the entire league who know how to hit is worth having the pitchers hit. Because let's just be honest, it's bad. I don't like it. I don't like it. I prefer the DH because nothing kills an offensive rally. All right. Oh my God, the bases are loaded. 2 outs. Oh boy,
that's the point. Plus, it's nauseating watching Bartolo Colon hit and guys like that you're never going to get a hit. I mean, it sucks. I mean, especially when you're betting on a game and you're down 4-2, you got bases loaded, 1 out, and you got the fucking pitcher coming up. It's fucking brutal.
Well, then pull him.
No, I
but if it's the third or fourth inning, it sucks. I mean.
Yeah,
no, that surprises me.
I just like the managing decisions that it forces you to make. Because in that same issue in the 7th inning, you got a reliever. He's throwing gas, right? You don't really want to take him out, but you're down 4-2.
Then make it uniform. Then make it uniform.
No, we agree on uniform. It's just which way would we want to go? And it will go towards the DH. My way is the old way, and it's done. But if I have my way, I go no DH both leagues.
Get in here, Matt. What do you like?
Well, yeah, no, I'm definitely a purist. I don't want the DH, and I'd be cool with making a uniform. I like the strategy of it, and also what I really like, and a great example of this was Roger Clemens when he would pitch in the AL. He had no problem throwing at somebody knowing that he wasn't coming up, and that pisses me off too. He would be plunking people all the time, knowing he doesn't have to face the pitcher. Now I understand that's not a big enough reason to change a rule. But that's one thing I like about it. Hey, if you're gonna hit my guy, you're gonna have to stand in there next inning and maybe get hit, by my pitcher. And I, like Spread said, I do like the strategy of it all too.
I don't want to be that guy who's like a teetotaler or whatever, or like I'm on the fence on it. Like I understand Matt and Greg's arguments, and I do agree with a lot of what they say. Just in general, I just think it's a better product when you have the DH because it's just like what Jeff said is completely true, and I've been through that a million times. When there's just nothing worse than you got an exciting rally going on, and then
you pinch hit, man.
Yeah, but again, if it's in the 3rd or 4th inning,
right. But if it's
I don't want
or beyond.
I don't want managers having to decide the game that early. Let the players decide what happens. Like if you're going to do that, then you just have to make it uniform. Either do it or don't. Get off the pot or whatever. Here's my question though, Anthony and all you guys. If you're going to do this new realignment, right? Okay, obviously it's to minimize travel according to them. But for instance, if you go from Port St. Lucie, Florida to Sarasota, Florida, because that's where 2 of the different parks are, that's almost a 3-hour trip. So it's a plane ride. You're going to have to get on the plane. If you're going to do that, why not just do the regular season? I'm not understanding why we're doing these ideas. If
3 hours is a plane ride?
You're not going to ride a bus for 3 hours. It's the fucking major leagues. They're not going to ride buses. What I'm saying is you have to test these guys anyway. Okay, it's going to happen. You have to test them. You can test the coaches. You got to test the equipment people. They're all involved. There's not going to be fans regardless. But why? Like, what's the point of you're still going to have to travel. So why not just play the regular season? I don't understand why we're doing like this then.
I don't know. I think they could drive it. I mean, they would call players who go from Kansas City to Omaha back and forth. In the major or because Omaha has Kansas City's AAA affiliate, it's a 3-hour drive. They would call the guys I-29 because they keep having to make that trip on I-29 from Omaha.
I get that, but
3-hour drive.
That's AA players or whatever. This is, these are million. Some of these are making $300 million. They're gonna have to sit in a bus and drive.
No, I just don't let them drive their Mercedes. I don't know. I think this is this must be like the difference between the Midwest mindset and the mindset of someone who's like in the Northeast where all the cities are like 35 minutes apart. So to me, 3 hours. Seriously, once you get out into like the middle of the United States and more towards the West, 3 hours is like the closest major city. But I get it. Like where you guys are at, you drive 3 hours. You drive through like 5 different metropolitans.
Okay, so what if I have a game in Sarasota? Are they going to play those teams in Arizona too? Because you're not driving that far. So you're going to have to get on a plane. Why not just keep this idea, but they all just play in their own home parks? I don't understand.
That's what they're saying. They're just saying like they're not going to have interleague play. It's just going to be the Arizona team stay in Arizona, the Florida team stay in Florida.
Then I get it.
I think it's to get airplanes out of the whole deal. They won't even get on planes ever.
So let me ask you though: is this what the season will be? Like, what if in August, September we're back to normal and everything's fine, and there's still not any fans, but what is it going to? Is this the season? Or
I think once they start and they commit to it, they'll just play it out like it was.
Yeah, because I like this idea a lot.
Yeah, I think people will be into it too. I think, like you said, the Phillies and the Yankees being in the same, like me and Ant, A's versus Cubs. Like, how often do we get that? Like, let's rock it.
You lose Boston and New York, don't you?
Well, yeah.
Which is
thank God, because.
But what I'm saying is okay. You pick up Phillies and Yankees, but you lost Boston and the Yankees.
Well, it's
but it's only for 1 year though. It's not.
And it's a little slice of normal finally. So
yeah.
No, I like that it's being shaken up. Hey, let's do something different for a year. It'll be interesting. Because we've never.
I say we do this for good.
And can we all just agree that there's nothing more brutal than trying to watch a Yankees-Red Sox game? I mean, like, why are Yankees-Red Sox games for some reason always 4.5 hours?
It's literally on every weekend. It seems like on Sunday night, every weekend. It seems like.
Yeah, I'm like, and then people act like it's like this big deal. I'm like, they play 18 times a year, right?
That's going to be rough though. Playing out in Arizona, that's going to be rough. Like late in summer, man.
I know, isn't that wild? Yeah, I mean,
that's going to be. Florida and Arizona both are rough.
I don't even think they will have. I don't think they'll even play daytime, right? I went to Arizona State for a year, right? We never did anything until 9 p.m. when the lights came on.
Yeah,
so we would sit around all day, and then 9 o'clock we'd go out. We'd do, whatever it was, the baseball league or football league, like we had all the intramurals, but none of them started till 8 or 9 p.m.
But spread that would mean this is going to be sweet because that means. Baseball will be on from 12 noon to like 12 at night.
Yeah, it would be awesome. It'll be even later for you.
It's the only thing on because there's nothing else on as far as we know. So, yeah, I'm all for this.
Jay, aren't you just excited about that, Jay? 12 hours of baseball every day.
Right now, bro, I would take it with a smile on my face.
Yeah, how could you not? I mean, it's it's something. It allows you to like look at the odds and like feel that again,
100%.
I'll tell you what, I am like for the first couple of weeks, I didn't mind having a break from constantly being inundated with sports betting all the time. But oh my God, I just
hey, real quick before we go on to 4. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Yeah, before we go on to 4, we can bet on the horse competition NBA.
Oh my God, let's get right on that.
It's something. and what's her name is plus 1,200 to win it. She's I'm looking at her because it's basically going to be a shooting contest. What the hell was her name? Witherspoon? Not Witherspoon.
Oh, bet on the chick then, because all the chicks do is shoot. Like the dudes either shoot 3-pointers or they dunk.
I forget who was the favorite.
She'll drill some mid-range jump shot, and other guys will be able to replicate it.
I have no idea. So number 4, trouble in Salt Lake City. Reportedly, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell are on the outs due to Gobert's flippant attitude towards the virus prior to him and Mitchell being diagnosed. Thoughts?
Listen, I mean, I actually get where he's coming from here. I think it was one of the more immature things I've ever like his total disregard. And look, a lot of us like didn't take it totally serious, but none of us want to get sick. I don't care if I have a cold or whatever. Like I don't touch, like if you're sick and it's winter, don't be like touching. It's just whack. Like nobody wants to be around a sick person. I thought it was weak. I thought it was really lame that he did that shit. And then that like bullshit apology. He fucked up and he knew it. I feel bad for him because how did he knew it would happen? But yeah, I don't blame Donovan Mitchell. It's like if I have a girlfriend and one of my friends fucks her, like I'm going to hate him forever. It's pretty simple. There's just certain things you don't do, especially with the NBA. Like they were trying to actively educate these kids and these guys on, this stuff spreads and we got to be more serious about it. We got to take precautions. He didn't take anything seriously. He just act like a dickhead. I would be too because
you're right.
Mitchell could have died.
That picture of him touching all the microphones and shit on the way out the door.
That's my issue, Jay. And how does Gobert know that maybe Mitchell has asthma or he has some kind of issue? Like, it's just incredibly reckless, and he could have died, for God's sakes. He put everyone in harm's way by doing
True.
that.
I'm sure he felt terrible.
And it wasn't just that the thing that he did at the press conference. Supposedly in the locker room, they were telling him, knock it off. And he kept running around touching everything.
That would bother me.
Yeah. And I think that's where it came from, was not that press conference, but touching his personal stuff when they had told him not to. You know, like just the disrespect and thinking that's funny when it's really not. Like, even if he didn't have the virus, right? It's not like they'd be like, oh, remember when you touched all my stuff when I told you not to? You know, I mean there would have been an issue anyways.
But is this like, I mean, it's not like the same level, but like if you look at some of these like real scumbags in society that like maybe they'll have herpes and like they'll have sex with people knowing it. Like, this isn't quite that level, but it's like you pretty much knew that like you're in a business that's very like there's dudes everywhere.
It's like that old Anthony Jeselnik joke. Always assume that the girl has herpes. That way, you just don't got to tell her about your herpes.
Jeff, like you said, it's similar to the other day when you and I were talking about the guy going around with the virus in the supermarket, opening shit and drinking it. Yeah. You know?
He had the virus, or that he was just. I saw that.
No, the guy was just being a complete fuckhead. Like, and I was saying that I would have went out to my car, basically sat there and waited for him to come out, and I would have beat him fucking senselessly. And
with his nightstick.
With my nightstick, I
found out that he has a nightstick in the car.
Well, yeah, and I would have, someone would have called the cops, and I would have said, "This piece of shit was in the store drinking out of fucking bottles." And I'm sure the cops would be fine, and they'd just leave and say, well, he deserved it. But
if I was Donovan Mitchell, I would have no problem throwing a lawsuit on him.
Yeah.
Putting me in court. You put me in quarantine for fucking however long he's been in quarantine. I would have no problem doing that. And furthermore, with Rudy Gobert, when he came up, everyone loved him. Big guy, big French guy. Funny, but he's worn thin even before this. Nutmegging people. He's getting tossed out of games all the time, yelling at refs.
So do you think this legitimately ruins the cohesiveness of the team?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that.
I do.
All I'm saying is this guy's he is still young, but come on, you got to know
his
that.
behavior recently has been pretty out there. I don't know what's up with him. And at the end of the day, like I will say this, Matt, like what about, I heard someone mention this. I'm trying to remember who it was, someone in the media business. They were talking about, was Rudy Gobert in a way a good thing? Like what if he never would have had it? We would have probably played March Madness, and it would have been probably way worse. Again, though, I understand it from a personal standpoint. If I'm Mitchell or whoever, if I'm someone on the Toronto Raptors and got it, likely through playing Gobert, I'd be pissed too, or whoever that team was.
But not only see, other famous people got it too. So you're right that it may have made a difference. But now we got Boris Johnson, and we got Tom Hanks, and we got Kit Trudeau's wife, and
the good thing is all these people are recovered.
Boris Johnson's probably the most important person of all.
He got bad, didn't he? There for a minute,
he was in the ICU. They had him on a ventilator.
He's off now, but yeah.
Yeah, but he was real bad there for a minute. We thought he might die, but it looks like he's gotten better.
If Rudy Gobert doesn't get this thing, I mean, who knows how many people would have got it? Because they would have kept playing that night. They'd have kept playing the college basketball. College basketball had a shoe to drop. That shoe dropped. They had to cancel. They knew that. But they would have kept playing.
Are you just trying to make me mad and sad?
Well, I'm just saying, like it's in a way it's a blessing. But if I'm Mitchell or whoever, I'm looking at that's a good point by Matt. I would consider it.
Well, I have a question though. Like I know this isn't sports related, but Matt brought him up, so I kind of want to maybe touch on this for a second. How huge would it have been, and how seriously would the world have taken it
if he dies, right?
if Boris Johnson had died?
My dad said that to me. I mean,
yeah, because you think to yourself, if he can't beat it with all the best medical, then this is a serious fucking thing.
But it also shows that, and this is why I find these people that wear masks and all this stuff, I find these people interesting, because people say to me, like, "Oh, you're not gonna listen." If I get coronavirus, I can't prevent. Like, I'm just gonna get it. There's nothing I can do. I can try to prevent it. I could try to prevent myself from getting anything. I don't want to get it, but I think it truly shows you that you can do a lot of prevention and you can still get it.
The masks. I'll point out, because I've talked. I have a lot of people in my family. My mom, my sister, my niece, who does have coronavirus, by the way. The thing with the masks is it's the most important thing to stop the spread. And unless you're wearing like the N95 mask, it doesn't. Those masks that most people are wearing, they're not really going to keep you from catching it. But what they do is they keep you from spreading it. And the reason why that's important is the coronavirus, and I don't know if the information has gotten out there for everybody to understand, but nearly half the people who catch the coronavirus are a combination of being completely asymptomatic, meaning they don't have any symptoms at all, or their symptoms are so mild, you might just think you have a little bit of a cough.
But someone said to me the other day, I made it a point about not wearing a mask, and I was like outside exercising, like just by myself. I don't encounter one person doing this. I live in like a suburban area. I don't see anybody. Someone's like, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" And it's like, because I don't encounter anyone. Like if I'm going to a Subway, maybe I would, or something like that. But I'm.
You know what I think so funny, guys, is I'm sure I had it.
Not.
Right.
No doubt. I'm sure I had the coronavirus. I probably know 4 or 5 people that had it. I mean, Jay will remember I was sick for fucking 4 months with something.
I remember,
and we all wrote it off as a flu. Everyone I know was sick from like fucking December 1st to March 1st. Everybody was sick.
I was telling Jay that same thing. He was talking about having it, and I said back in February, I had for about 5 days, I had the symptoms perfectly.
Yeah.
All of them.
I think I had it and I beat it.
Yeah, same. I do too. And if I take the antibody test, it wouldn't surprise me. And that's why, guys, I don't think this is in this country. I don't think it's going to be as bad. I don't think it is as bad as people because I think a lot of people have had it already. And I think they've beaten it and it didn't affect them really.
Yeah,
I feel like I had it.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I think like just when you go out, you should be wearing a mask, because like if you're asymptomatic or it doesn't affect you that much, you want to wear it to keep you from spreading it to other people in case you have it and don't know.
Let me ask you though, with the mask,
there's always those people who aren't going to take it as well as you. Like my niece had to go to the hospital.
Let me ask you
in the hospital. Like you don't want people who are. You don't want to accidentally give it to someone who they're not going to take it.
If I have, let's say, like just like a bandana over my face and stuff, like something like that, and I sneeze, like that's going to be like all over me, no?
Better all over your own face than all over other people.
Right, but what if I don't? I'm not going to do anything like that. Like I don't sneeze very often, as far as I know.
No, I'm just saying, dude.
But I get what you're saying. I just didn't know what the point was. It to prevent from me getting it? Because
they're the mat, like the surgical masks, like the N95 masks. They keep you from getting it, and they also keep you from spreading it. Like the mask that you just kind of wear over your face, it's mostly you stopping you from spreading it to other people.
Right.
Like, because my job, they provided us with masks, and I put that around my face. And I'm like, it's not airtight. Like stuff can get in there, but it keeps me from like breathing onto other people and things like that.
Isn't it also like to prevent you from like touching your face?
Yeah, that definitely helps from you touching your own face.
Because that's what I heard. Like that's the general way you get it. Like let's say Matt and I are like drinking a beer at his house. He's sitting next to me and he he coughs, it could get onto my hands and I could touch my face with my hands.
Right. But that's just general advice during every cold and flu season. Like the ways to prevent coronavirus aren't really any different than the normal ways. Because guess what? Did you know that the common cold is a coronavirus?
Yeah, it's like a different strain, right?
Yeah, so it's called COVID-19 for a reason. There's
but that's really been my thing with this the whole time. Like, if I have a 90, my grandma's 94 years old, right? She's more likely to die from the flu by a wide margin than any of us.
Yeah.
So it's like I get like the hysteria, but then I also don't get the hysteria because, people die all the time from things, and
I think it's the mortality rate.
But the mortality rate, Jay's not high. That's my thing. It's not high in this country.
But if you listen to cable news, bro, so many people, like my mom, like watches cable news like
that's
every
the real
hour
danger
of the day.
In this country is that
I told her, I was like, I watched it for an hour the other night and it made me nervous.
Oh, it's hysteria. It's like this thing today. I got so pissed when I saw this, and I know you saw it, Jay.
Watching cable news makes you think Andrew Cuomo would be a good president.
Well, CBS posts this picture of these guys at that Hart Island in the Bronx, which is a known place they bury bodies. Basically, they go there and they bury bodies of like homeless people and drug addicts. No one claims these bodies. So like maybe prisoners that die at Rikers Island, whatever. They're unclaimed bodies. They can't, where are they going to bury them? So they take them to this island and bury them. They've been doing it for 100+ years. Some guy flies a drone over it and sees them digging shit up. And he goes, look, they're burying bodies at this island. Like, they haven't been doing it for 100 years. And most people see that, and they're like, oh, my God, it's so bad. Like, that's bad fucking journalism. Like, bad.
Yeah.
The media and the journalism.
The hysteria from the media. I mean, they have the counter in the corner. 600,000 people have it. There's 18,000 people dead. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, I don't want to see anyone die. I hope everyone beats it and gets fucking through it. But, you have people like in my town where I live now, like literally anytime someone gets it, they post, hey, someone here got it. It's like, can we stop with this? Like, people are going to get it.
Well, it's like what my sister said. She said, whatever number the media is telling you they have, like whatever the reported cases are, multiply it by a minimum of 10, and that's your conservative estimate of the real amount of cases.
But that's another thing, Anthony. How many people have died? Like, for instance, let's say I'm 85 and I have COPD and emphysema and I get coronavirus. I might die from the COPD, but they're just going to call it a coronavirus death. So how do we know if people
I think I've heard that argument before. I think that argument where people are like, well, if you have coronavirus and you die, the kind of coronavirus deaths, and that's inflating the numbers. I'm like, well, you have the coronavirus for a couple of weeks and you die in that 2-week time span. I mean, are we really inflating the numbers? You had the coronavirus. You had a 2-week window to die while you had the coronavirus. Like, what do you really?
Yeah, I get that. But if you, let's say, you're completely healthy, you don't have asthma and you don't smoke and you just get it and pass it. If you didn't have COPD and emphysema, so the emphysema and COPD were the reason you died. The coronavirus just assisted in it.
I mean, I see what you're saying there, but
yeah, and also if what you're saying, if 10 times more people have it, right, and these people aren't going to the hospital, doesn't it mean that our mortality rate is way lower than what they're reporting?
Exactly, that's true as well. The mortality rate's low to begin with,
right? I
mean, look at your state spread. Like California, they've done a tremendous job. Washington, all these states.
California and Washington have been doing a tremendous job, but for some reason, it's the state where everyone's dying that we want to take that governor as the replacement for Joe Biden. I will always segue it back to that.
Still, though, here's where you're wrong. They expected look at the shit they've done to be prepared for this. It's good that they're giving shit back. It's good they're tearing stuff down. It's good that they only need 18,000 beds. They thought they need 100,000. And look at the worst city in America for this shit. They haven't even used 18,000 beds yet. And that's the worst.
Yeah. All right, number 5. Let's move on.
I don't know how we got on this again.
Because it was Rudy Gobert. That's
okay.
why.
Right.
But long story
All
short
right,
on Rudy Gobert, let me just point out that I think that he just needs a new team like Nick Young. He's done on the Jazz, though. It's like he's got to leave the team. I don't see how that continues.
And not for nothing, I think they could be.
Oh, Jay, let's skip number 5. I already just went cute.
Number 5.
Can I roll my eyes harder at that fucking headline?
Darren Rovell. Darren Rovell, who I don't like, he annoys the fuck out of me, but I digress. Today reports that Tom Brady's company filed for a couple new trademark applications. Apparently, he thought of the fucking corniest fucking, I don't want to say gayest, no disrespect, name that he could put on a shirt with him going to Tampa Bay this year. And his people came up with the new name, Tampa Bay.
I actually and I can relate to this because I remember when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, they took that dilly thing and made it into like Philly.
Yeah.
I thought it was so fucking lame. I actually don't hate this though. I think it's kind of cool hysteria.
Would you rock a Tampa Bay shirt, Jeff?
If I was a fan and I lived there, yeah, because I think these people are excited. And look, give it to them. They don't have a lot to be excited about. They live in Tampa. They're known for having good strip clubs and good shit like that. Like they don't have.
Don't they have roosters in the street in Tampa?
No, I think it's Miami, but
what's wrong with Tampa, Jeff? I love Tampa.
No, I don't have any. No, there's nothing wrong with Tampa. They don't have anything to root for. Like their baseball team's boring. Yeah. Like what do they have to root for? Like South Florida football. Like they're excited. I don't hate this. I actually think it's kind of catchy personally. I like Tom Brady, so I don't have an issue with it.
My question for this, Jay, is I have no opinion on this dumb fucking thing, Tampa.
What's so bad about it?
It's whatever.
It's funny.
Jay, I have a question for you though. Is would you long term? Would you have preferred to try to make Jameis Winston stop throwing 6 interceptions a game, or would you take 1 year of mediocre Tom Brady?
Listen, I'm a Jameis Winston sold me this year. Now I know that Matt thinks he's the worst quarterback in the league. I changed my opinion a little bit on Jameis Winston this year. I know the kid throws a fucking million interceptions, but he also throws a million touchdowns. And if he had a fucking a better defense where they didn't give up 30 points a game, I think that he would have done. They could have made the playoffs.
Jay, you are totally right here, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't understand the hate on this guy. He's never thrown more than 20 interceptions in a season, other than last year. I mean, he really hasn't been that bad with interceptions, and you're dead on the money. Go back to 2015 when he came into the league. Their defense has been fucking horrible. They can't stop anybody. They give up 30. He's right. They give up 29 to 33 points every year.
Let's go back to this one, Jay. How many weeks in a row did
13 weeks? 13 weeks we hit 13 total over.
So if you hit a team's team total over 13 weeks in a row and they still miss the playoffs, how's that Jameis Winston's fault?
Yeah, it's not. That's the point.
I think the reason they want to move on is just his attitude. Did you guys watch the Hard Knocks that he was on?
Jeff,
I just wouldn't want that guy in charge of my team. They eat the W thing.
He's an eccentric guy. I don't think anyone can.
I think any other position it works, but at quarterback, I don't know.
If you put
Greg, you are acting like a 43-year-old white guy.
What'd you say, Jay?
If you put Jameis Winston this year, on the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're in the playoffs.
I wrote about that like 3 months ago. I've been saying that forever. I'm not understanding why Pittsburgh won't go get Jameis Winston. I don't get it. Jameis Winston.
Well, they have no salary cap space at all.
If you put Jameis Winston on Pittsburgh right now,
with that
they would go to the playoffs and they would do well.
I agree. Matt,
I agree with you there. Matt's gone. But no, they won't do it just because they don't have any salary cap space. No, I know you're saying I sound old, Ant, but I think that attitude and stuff matters, right? I mean,
but attitude.
It's not just me. Look at the picture of Deshaun Jackson when he's talking about eating the W, right? Did you ever see the freeze frame of his face? Deshaun Jackson. I mean, so maybe it's just a California thing, but it's like you can't be doing that, dude.
Spread. I do a lot of draft stuff, right?
I think it's stupid, Greg. I think it's stupid. I'm just saying I don't disagree with you that the ETW thing's stupid. I just think it's I just don't care. I mean, it's personality. It's fun. It's whatever. Let them have fun. They're playing a game for a fucking living. Let them have
one thing on this. I with the draft stuff, there are two type of players you'll find. You'll find a guy that, he kind of likes football, he plays well, and he does his thing. But then you'll find a guy like a Joe Burrow who loves football. He's got a great attitude. He loves it. He puts his heart into it. He might be even a little quirky. I'd much rather have my player be a little quirky, maybe like a Josh Rosen. A lot of people hated Josh Rosen coming out of college, but I loved him because I knew he had that leader mentality. He was a little eccentric, but he was a leader. I'd much rather have that over a guy that kind of likes football and, he's not, quirky's good. I don't mind quirky. I like the guy. I think he's a good
player. No, I like Jameis too. I'm not surprised the teams aren't running around to have a guy with questionable leadership skills.
All due respect,
take over their franchise.
If you don't like Jameis Winston, and I'm being serious, and I don't want to offend anyone, I don't think you know a lot know about football. If you don't like the guy, I just don't.
Well, in 32 GMs don't know a lot about football under that way, right?
Hold on. The shot was fired.
I want to know why Twatty
what's the return fire?
But if you don't like
him, let's do the return fire, Matt.
But he's a good player. That's what I'm trying to say. If you don't like him because you just don't like him, I get that. He's not the most likable guy.
But Twatty has said to me on multiple occasions he thinks he's the worst quarterback in football.
Which is
who the fuck is Twatty?
Yeah, I'm not factoring in at all his personality. I don't give a fuck about his personality at all. I'm talking about his ability to read defenses and throw the ball timely. I mean, you cannot throw as many. I don't care how. I understand
he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, though. He's thrown more than 20 once in his career.
He threw as many interceptions as he threw touchdowns last year.
But he's never done that before. It wasn't even close.
Right.
He's never threw more than 18 in a season. That's what I'm trying to say.
18 is a lot, though.
But we look at one body of work in one season and say, oh, he like Jay was saying, Matt, every week they're putting up 30 points a game. The defense can't stop anybody. It's been horrific.
Yeah.
This is
going to be one of those things that I'm not going to try to convince you, and you probably shouldn't try to convince me. It's going to have to be one of those things that we leave, because not only do I think he's not average, I think he's fucking terrible.
Okay, Matt.
So
listen, hear me out here. If you put him on the Patriots with that defense, they go to the playoffs and they win a game or two. They might have to Tom Brady at that great level, but
it depends. I mean, it depends on the offense you're going to run.
He puts up numbers, man. You can't knock that.
Yeah, he puts up again. I'm not going to be able to convince you, and you're not going to be able to convince me. I think he's fucking terrible. You think he's good.
But Twatty, I mean, they went over their team total 14 of 7.
I'm not talking about team totals. I'm talking about him as a player. Jeff thinks he's a good player or above average player, and I think he's terrible.
Matt, here's where I'm disappointed in all this is you're just conceding that we're going to agree to disagree argument.
Well, no, because the reason I'm conceding is
before you even got to telling them both that they're fucking retarded and they don't know what they're talking about, you already conceded to agree to disagree.
The reason I'm conceding is because I'm going to die on this hill, and I'm pretty sure Jeff would die on the hill too.
Matt,
so there's no reason to.
Matt, I want to hear you say that they're fucking don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Let me ask you a question.
Tension here, man.
Twatty, who would win more games as the Steelers quarterback this year coming up? Ben Roethlisberger or Jameis Winston?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not.
I mean, but you're making it out like it's like
I've been slagging Jameis this whole time here, and I think
making it out like it's Gardner Minshew against like Tom Brady in his prime. It's not.
I would much rather have Gardner Minshew than Jameis Winston right now. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Holy,
you're not serious.
It's not even close. I'd rather have Gardner Minshew. It's not even close.
Let's back it up here.
Let me answer Jay's question. Would I rather have Ben Roethlisberger, who's been in the Steelers offense for 16 fucking years?
He's injured every year and he's old.
Yeah,
or
he's
Jameis
coming back
Winston.
from that injury.
What?
But Matt, he's hanging together by taping.
I mean,
he's not coming
this
back
is
from
the
that
issue.
injury.
This is the problem with this is the Steeler problem. This is the management problem. The Steeler, they're so fucking delusional. They think he's going to play forever. You need a fucking replacement, and you don't have one. You don't.
No, but
that
really wasn't the question. I don't mind having a replacement for Ben for the years. He was asking this year who would win more games for the Steelers, Jameis Winston or Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't think it'd
be I think Jameis. I don't think Ben's even going to be able to play like.
But now we're going into semantics. Now we're using. Well, he may be hurt. We don't know if he's hurt. What I'm saying is, if they play 16
healthy,
games,
it's not a question. If he's healthy, it's not a question. It's a 2 Super Bowl winner versus a guy.
That's what I'm saying. If they play 16 games, I would rather have Ben.
About a guy who's at the latter part of his career, never was that mobile, always took a ton of hits, and now he's coming off an elbow injury.
I made the point.
You have to take in the injuries when you're talking about who you.
Well, then that does change my decision. If Ben's going to play 3 games, I'd rather have Jameis.
I made the point about
my
3 weeks ago
on the Steelers, though. When you talked about you'd rather have Gardner Minshew than Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I don't know. About
first of all, I don't think anybody.
I can give you someone worse.
No. I just want to say I don't think anybody should be dissing Gardner Minshew because nobody in the NFL, and I mean nobody, has banged more white trash Perkins waitresses than Gardner Minshew.
What about Tiger Woods?
And we all no, Tiger Woods banged Perkins waitresses out of necessity to keep it hidden from his wife. Gardner Minshew does it because he likes it. Look at that guy. The jorts, the jock straps, just the pure.
I like how Tiger Woods, it was necessary for him to cheat on his wife. Wonderful.
Gardner Minshew is the epitome of a 1985 Trans Am. All right? That dude has fucked more trailer park trash than you can believe. And I will tell you what, nothing brings power to a quarterback like getting your dick in trailer park pussy. I would take Gardner Minshew over Jameis Winston right now. But on the other hand, I would definitely take Gardner Minshew over Ben Roethlisberger because I prefer my quarterbacks to have sex with white trash consensually.
If I were the Steelers, and I mean this, I would tell Ben, hit the fucking road. Thanks for what you've done. It's time to move on. And I would sign Jameis Winston tomorrow. He would 100%. Win games. I mean,
they just can't afford him. I think they would consider.
Hey, Jeff. I'm sure that college student in that bar would love to tell Ben Roethlisberger, thanks for what you've done.
Indianapolis did this with Chuck Pagano. They wouldn't fire him because he had cancer and they didn't want to cut him loose. But the right business decision was to cut him loose, and they finally did it. I get Ben's done a lot for Pittsburgh. I'm not going to say he hasn't. I've enjoyed watching him play. He's fascinating. He reminds me a lot of Allen Iverson, just how tough they are. They play hard. They give all their all. But it's no secret that Ben is towards the end of his career. You've got to start preparing.
He was hurt last year. Hold on. He was hurt last year, but 2 years ago, he led the league in passing. 2 years ago.
He also had Antonio Brown. He doesn't anymore. He's also 38 years old.
I'm just saying.
But Matt,
Jay wants to say something.
But Matt, I'm also saying you've got to start preparing for the future because the two guys you have now, you have failed. They have been so bad at finding quarterback. It's fascinating. They're so good on defense, finding stars in the draft, yet they cannot pick a quarterback to save their.
No, you're right. You're right.
So is Jameis on a different team at the start of the year?
Yeah,
he still hasn't been signed yet. He's a free agent right now.
He's a free agent.
So
nobody's picked him up yet.
You think he'll get a starting job somewhere, Jeff?
No. Where would he start?
Well,
where would he start?
Listen, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
what you start in Jacksonville, then, right?
I don't know what Oakland's waiting on. I would have cut Derek Carr loose. I don't know what they're waiting.
Yeah, I think there are numerous teams he could start.
He should be able to beat out Teddy Bridgewater. We'll see if that happens.
I mean,
I'm not trying to have Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay, but first of all, these teams are going to have to invest money in him. He's not going to come sign for $2 million. So you can already throw all the teams with salary cap issues out the window.
Let me tell you,
what about the Panthers? Didn't
the Redskins?
The Panthers got Bridgewater.
The Redskins
is a good one.
The Redskins should sign him.
That's a good one.
They have a good defense. They're going to be really good next year on that side of the ball. They have a young player, McLaurin. Darius Geis will be healthy. Get Jameis down there. I'm telling you, Ron Rivera, I think, could do some good things with him. He's a better version of Cam Newton at this point.
Big King BJ says Jameis Winston's better than half the league.
Mm-hmm.
There
Agreed.
you go.
I disagree on that, but
Big King BJ also says, can we all agree Texans are better without Hopkins? That might be the
so that's what
he's trolling us on that one. He's trolling us on that one.
That is really bad.
Hey, can we all agree that Roethlisberger has as many Super Bowl rings as rape accusations?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, Anthony, cut it the fuck off.
You're such a cunt, Ant.
What? I mean,
I would take Kyle Allen instead of Jameis Winston.
Oh, settle down.
Yeah, Matt, you're really going off.
Where did Kyle Allen sign? Didn't Kyle Allen sign in Washington?
Who the fuck is Kyle Allen?
But the thing is, his only argument is he throws interceptions, which other than last year, he hasn't.
I mean, no, it's not only that, he's not real accurate either. You know what I mean?
Brett Favre.
Not only that, he's a human turnover when he gets hit. So not only does he throw picks, he fumbles the ball every time he's sacked.
Martin Riggs.
Let's get off.
Martin Riggs, who never agrees with anything that comes out of Jeff's mouth, said, "Matt, stop it."
That means something.
I can't believe I don't have more people on Jameis Winston.
Matt, let me ask you something. What do you think Tom Brady's career completion percentage is?
64%.
I was going to say like 2/3, like 65%.
I bet it's better than Ben's.
Okay, it's 63%. You know what Jameis's is?
59.
61.5. Not far off. And last year, Tom Brady, his completion percentage was 60%.
So that's
now. Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Give it the fuck up.
Again,
but what if
you're not going to talk me off of it?
Hey,
what if you go back to like the old school, like the two guys didn't do any prep for the game. They just drank in the town the night before, and they show up and they go, "Okay, what are the keys to the game?" What do they always say? You got to limit turnovers, right?
By the way,
I mean, you have to factor that in.
So you're saying if he doesn't turn the ball over, basically you're telling. So is it what you're telling me? If he doesn't turn the ball over, they're probably a Super Bowl type of team, right?
Martin Riggs nailed it. Give me Winston. Give me Winston on the Bears.
Well,
Winston
that's the way.
See, they already signed Foles, so now they have Trubisky. They have Foles. I mean, I understand.
He's got to go to the Redskins. It'd be perfect for him.
No, I agree with you there too, and I think he's actually better than Trubisky or Foles. But I'm just saying, the way they're invested, they're not going to bring him in. Can
I just drop a bomb on this real quick and just let everyone? I just want to let everyone know because Jeffrey just said that Winston's better than Tom Brady right now. I don't disagree with that statement because I honestly think there's like 27 quarterbacks in the league that are probably better than Tom Brady.
I can't wait till next year. They better not cancel this season, dude. I'm getting Brady in fantasy and just laughing.
Fred's gonna die on this hill.
I am.
40.
I'll die on the hill.
What was Brady's stats last year? I gotta pull it up.
They were not.
They were terrible. They were terrible.
Greg, Tom Brady's as old as you, man. Come on.
Of course. Why do you think I'm rooting for him?
Wait, he was 24. He threw for 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 picks, 3-1.
That's the key right there too. Is 8 picks. That's where he helps the team.
They play fucking Miami and New York and fucking Buffalo.
Do I want to look up Jameis? Oh god.
Oh, so
Jameis look him up. 5,000, 30.
Are you?
He had a bad year. He's 30 interceptions.
He actually had a great year, except for interceptions. Over 5,000 yards. How many times has that been?
If their defense gave up 6 points or like less a game, they'd have won 3 or 4 of those games. He's the only reason they're in the fucking game, Matt. But he's still in the game, Matt.
The most automatic bet last year in the NFL was the Tampa Bay team total over.
But also that had to do with the fact that the books didn't adjust either. Because remember, we talked about it on the show, right? They were putting up 30 for like 5 weeks in a row, and the number was still sitting at like 26.5.
Yeah.
Well, the books don't adjust to those kinds of derivatives because not that many people actually bet them.
Well, this is fine with me. I loved it.
Yeah,
especially when I was going through like a rough stretch in the NFL season. That was like saving my Sundays more than once.
What did that do? Pay 3 mortgage payments in a row for you?
Yeah.
Guys, you know he threw 626 passes. That's 40 a game, basically. 40 passes a game he threw.
I saw that, Jay.
He should have thrown for 5,000 yards, right?
I mean, all I'm saying is
but here's a way for me to meet you halfway, Jeff. Or not for you to come halfway, but for me to come halfway. If he was in a different offense, he wouldn't have thrown that many picks. I get that.
All I'm saying is
if he was playing for Tennessee for Munchak or for someone else that had a run game, he wouldn't. I understand he wouldn't throw 30 picks.
Here's another thing, and I've said this before a lot with quarterbacks. You are make or break in the NFL on who the fuck coaches you. Coaching's important. Look at any quarterback that's good in the NFL. They've had a good coach behind them.
So do you think Bruce Arians is a good coach?
I'm not saying – no, I do think he's a good coach. The problem most of Jameis's career, he had fucking Dirk Cutter as the coach. And Dirk Cutter was a fucking horrible leader.
Right, and I agree with you there. But the fact that, that Bruce spent a full year with him and basically didn't want him back. I mean, the quotes were just brutal.
Yeah, but Bruce also, I don't think, can relate to Teddy Bridgewater very much. To me, he can relate with Tom Brady. They're like 30 years apart. Like him and Jameis are like.
I think a lot of people have problems with Jameis. I think that he's a little too loosey goosey with his attitude.
I think a Ron Rivera, Andy Reid type could deal with it.
I'm bored with this conversation already, Jay.
All right, we'll move on to 6. We got it all out.
All right,
and he was sacked 47 times, by the way.
Oh, God.
Well, hey, you know what that tells me? Put him behind the Colts offensive line of the Patriots, and he does way better.
Yep.
Just like Daniel Jones, not behind the Giants, probably would have did way better.
All right, number 6, Fugazi, ESPN. Earlier in the week, an ESPN parody account tweeted out that Kaepernick was signed by the Jets. Apparently, real media outlets saw it and reported it as fact because nobody vets anything anymore. I saw it reported by a legitimate outlet, and the first thing that came to my mind was, wow, that's such a New York Jets thing to do. But it was all for naught because it ended up.
And you know who that was that got him, right? The super troll, the best troll of all time?
I don't.
The leading troll on Twitter, Sports Talk Barry. I don't know what his name is now. Super Tough Scene or whatever. He's gotten everybody multiple times.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought this is sad to me. I love Colin Kaepernick. I think he's an American hero, and I'm not going to be off that ledge ever. I wish he had a spot in the NFL. I think he is blackballed.
I can't believe he doesn't have a spot in the NFL.
It's sad, really.
Why?
Same thing. Same thing with the distractions, right? Like all of them. Same thing with Jameis. It's almost the same thing over again. When he shows up and he does the workout, and then he doesn't do it. He won't go to their Atlanta thing. He switches it. I mean, for a backup quarterback, like we're not dealing with all this.
The NFL, their word. I thought they were a little to blame there as well, but it was Collins, so they immediately blamed him. But I feel bad for the guy. I think he should be in the league. I think he generally loves football. I think he also loves his platform and what he can do. Can we all agree that the bottom half of starting NFL quarterbacks is probably as bad as it's been?
No, I would disagree with that because I watched him that last year when he lost his job, and he wasn't good at all.
But he's way better.
I'm saying take him out of the equation right now. I just think the bottom half of the league, especially the last,
he's not Jameis. Like if we put Jameis Winston at 15, he's not better than Jameis Winston,
he's
right?
He's way better than like Luke Falk and like Matt Barkley, though.
Right, but those are backups.
Right,
but
those are backups.
You can't have a backup that's getting all the media attention, right? Your backup needs to be in the background.
He couldn't have started on the Washington Redskins last year.
No, and let me jump in here real quick and agree, basically back up Greg's point here. Is Is he blackballed? Yes. I want to first of all agree with Jeff. Also, like I thought his little protest thing was perfectly fine. I didn't care about that. But what everyone's forgetting, and that Greg pointed out, and everyone just seemed to forget about this shit, was Colin Kaepernick was already a backup quarterback when this whole thing started with the fucking protest. He was benched before he started the protest. So, like what Greg just said, if you're an NFL owner, why the fuck?
He was benched on a team that went to the Super Bowl, bro. What does that have to do? Like, he can't start on Carolina last year?
Milford went to a fucking Super Bowl. No one wanted to sign him afterwards.
And the thing is, right, if you're bad enough for Kaepernick to start, right?
Yeah.
If you're bad enough for Kaepernick to start, you need to start all over as a franchise. So you don't want to put him in there and win an extra 2 games. You'd rather see what you have with the young guys. Even like look at Carolina. It's like, oh, well, he could have started for Carolina. Well, they ended up getting a draft pick out of Kyle Allen, because they were able to showcase him for a little while and then trade him. Maybe it's only a 4th or 5th rounder.
So
but
nobody on this show now thinks that Kaepernick's not capable of an 8-8 season or better.
It's not.
I don't. No.
Think he's. First of all, I don't think he's starting quarterback material. But I think I think athletically, he's fine as a backup. I would love to have him as a backup, except for the distraction that he brings. And like what Greg said, why would you want a media circus over a backup quarterback?
Well, but because if you really like him, and like Michael Vick, I remember when he came there, Andy Reid took a lot of shit for that. There was fucking protesters outside of the stadium. He took a lot of shit for that, but it worked out because he was a great leader and he made him into the
call, brother.
He wanted.
So, right, but he was a great leader at that point.
But Michael was still a backup quarterback. He had went to prison for a year.
He didn't divide the locker room. Most of the people when he came into that Philadelphia team, right?
But Colin wouldn't. I don't think he would do much. I don't care who you are. If you are a normal human being and you respect everyone and you understand human rights, it's hard to disagree with certain things Colin Kaepernick does. Now the platform that he does, some of the things he does, I don't agree with. But I think his overall message, it's impossible to not agree.
It doesn't matter what his message is. What matters is the fact that half the country hates him because he knelt during the flag.
Then don't watch. But
here's
what's your thoughts on
half the country hated Michael Vick too, and they still do.
You can say don't watch all you want. It's not that I don't agree with what he did. It's the fact that you got to understand NFL owners are about the money. And they don't want to alienate any of their fans.
But they alienated Michael Vick killed dogs.
No, I don't even think it's the owners. I don't think there's a coach that wants him in their locker room. Who wants him in the quarterback room, right? He's going to get more questions than your starter. I mean, at this point, I've watched him throw. I mean,
I get it.
Maybe to be the backup in Baltimore, right? Or a system where he'd go into well.
That could be interesting, Baltimore. That would be really interesting.
But like he's not going to be able to back up like a statue quarterback, like Carr or something, because you'd have to completely change your system for him.
It's just here's the thing: you don't want a media circus and that kind of distraction over a backup quarterback.
What do you think, Cloudy?
Well, number one, I have no problem with what he did. I mean, that's his right to do whatever he did.
Yeah.
And what he did cost him his career. So, I mean, more props to him. He died on that hill, as we've been saying. So, and I have no problem with that. I don't think he's a good enough quarterback, and neither do the GMs at this point. I just think we just let it die. It's not like he's this stud sitting out, this gem sitting out there that no one's going to sign. He's still probably a good player, but he's not an all-pro type player. He's just 50% starter, so who gives a shit? Let's move on.
But you've got to agree, it is. I mean, his whole story is pretty sad. I mean, it's how the league basically for years. I mean, even back when he was a pretty decent player, the league for years basically blackballed him. It's a sad story. I mean, either way.
All right,
I'm not denying he got blackballed, but I mean, there's a reason why.
running back trouble. Chris Johnson might end up being a real scumbag. No disrespect. Earlier in the week, and ESPN. Oh no, I'm sorry. Per TMZ, ex-NFL star running back Chris Johnson has been accused of funding murder-for-hire shootings that left 2 men dead in 2016. Johnson has not been formally charged with a crime yet and adamantly denies the allegations. But officials familiar with the case have said that they are laying out their case, and it's compelling stuff. Johnson took to Twitter to respond in a 2-word tweet: fake news.
Listen, I mean, if you know the story and you know what went on here, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was on the fringes of gang life and things like that, I knew people in that life, and someone shot at me, I'm going to shoot back. So just remember.
Do you know the story, Jeff?
I do.
Can you tell me? Because I have no idea.
He was basically in a car with someone. Okay. And a group that I guess he ran with, he was friends with, they had a beef with somebody, and he was kind of connected to it. The group that didn't like that group shot at the car, and he paid someone to go after those folks, which it's not like it wasn't like a situation where like some innocent person he killed. There was gang members that and look, Chris Johnson shouldn't be, I don't know what he's doing in this situation. I don't know what his life's like now. He's been out of the league a couple years now. But they often say you never stop being friends with the people you have. I've said before, I have friends in prison. I'm not proud of that, and I don't think they are either, but they're my friends, and I'll always be there for them if they need me. And if I was in a situation that we were in that life together and someone did that to me, I'm not justifying that it's the right behavior, but they tried to kill him. They were looking to kill him, and he acted out. If he did.
Okay. I haven't heard this story before, but we hear similar stuff like this all the time where guys just, you hear it with rappers and you hear it with it's not the first time where a dude came up an impoverished gang member kind of background, and then he gets a lot of money, whether it's through pop stardom or through athleticism. But for some reason, he goes back. He brings all those people with them, or when their career's over, or during their career, they go back into the hood, or they go back into that lifestyle. They don't leave it behind, and then they get in trouble. It's like you can't be a fucking multimillionaire famous guy in the goddamn hood.
I think though,
go move to the suburbs. Go move to a fucking gated community and just let it go.
But I think again, you have to remember, we all have people we're friends with our whole life. I think people will judge Chris Johnson because again, maybe he had the friend, but you don't just stop being friends with people. And he wasn't strong enough to go through it. He started going. There's been all sorts of people that have done stuff like this. I mean, I
know. I've seen this a lot. That's what I'm saying. I was like, you see this pattern over and over again, and it's just like, if you have millions of dollars, get the fuck out of the hood. Why are you back?
But sometimes people don't forget where they come from, man.
Especially at that age. I mean, you're asking a lot of these guys to make these decisions in a rational manner, like with all the life experience that you have right now at your age. But they're 22, and a lot of them have lived very sheltered.
At 22, yeah.
Right. They've lived very sheltered childhoods as far as they're shuttled into sports. They show up, they ball out, they get praise.
The problem here that Chris Johnson's going to have is, from when I heard about this, is he was trying to create a drug trafficking organization, basically, and he wanted this guy he paid. He basically wanted not only to take care of this piece of work, but he wanted to basically take the money he had and fund a drug organization. That's what I've heard. So he was definitely in the game here, but who knows? I mean, maybe it's not true, but it definitely sucks for sure.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say it wasn't like a Tiger King situation. It wasn't like that. It was basically people that were, in the game and doing their thing.
Oh, hey, I said, thanks for bringing that up. I said before, and I'll say it again. If you can fund a murder for hire plot with less money than it takes to buy a 2007 Chevy Cobalt,
I'll be right back, guys.
You A, are talking to a cop, or
Right.
B, you're talking to someone who's so incompetent that they're going to fuck up the murder and you're going to get caught. Either way, if someone says, I will commit this murder for you for $3,000, you're getting caught.
Yeah, it costs at least 10 G's to do that. And listen, Joe, that guy that asked that question at Trump the other day, that guy should have his press credentials removed immediately.
Wait, what happened?
This fucking guy at the press conference the other night asked Trump if he would pardon Joe Exotic.
Oh my God.
And Trump's like, yeah, I guess because Trump Jr. like talked about it on Twitter, and Trump's like, yeah, I don't know much about him, but I'll look into it.
Can we all just also admit that when Trump Jr. had his interview on OAN Network, when his takeaway from the Tiger King was not the craziness of everything and how animal abuse was wrong or just how white trash and crazy these people were, Trump Jr.'s takeaway was, I didn't realize you could buy a tiger for $2,000. Why haven't I done that?
All right. So number 8, soccer woes. Obviously, Jeff and Ant would know more about this. FA Chairman Greg Clark said in a statement, we face the danger of losing clubs and leagues as finances collapse in the face of this unprecedented adversity. All the stakeholders within the game, from the players, fans, clubs, owners, and administrators, need to step up and share the pain to keep the game alive. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could understand where he's coming from. It's like any business. I mean, you look at some of the lower levels of English soccer. I mean, League One, League Two. I mean, a lot of these clubs have massive deficits already. To go 3-4 months without anything going on. There's a show on Netflix called it's about Sunderland. It's a club in League One, and they're massively hemorrhaging money. They just got a new owner. You saw in certain leagues this year where clubs basically were bankrupt. They had to stop playing. I mean, there's a group, Bury United, a team in League Two. They basically had to stop operation. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Now the Premier League will be fine, but I mean, some of these smaller leagues, I mean, they're not making a lot of money, and they're going to have to face crazy deficits. That wouldn't surprise me. It's sad for sure.
I could see this happening, maybe not with the Premier League, but with some of even the top flight leagues in the rest of Europe, because the Premier League has one of the best profit sharing deals going on in all of Europe. When you don't really get those profit sharing deals in some of the other big leagues. So that's why,
Jeff, you're talking about like championship and leagues like that.
I'm talking about like not even championship. I think a lot of those clubs are funded by decently, because a lot of those groups have been to the Premier League. They have somebody.
They still have those windfall payments for the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you get demoted, that doesn't happen though. What I'll say, like in the Italian league, I don't think like in the French league or whatever, I don't think you get those windfall payments like you do in the Premier League. That's why in the Italian league, you'll see teams bounce back and forward, and French league, you'll see teams bounce back and forward so much because it's. But in like say the Premier League, if you 1 or 2 seasons of the Premier League and then you get demoted, I mean, you're still financially set for a while.
Like Huddersfield, they went up like 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, to win that game to go up, I mean, they literally made like $500 million as a club. It's one of the richest games during the season. So but when you have a team like there's a team that was noted in this article. They're called Crew. They're a team in League One or League Two. I'm sorry. I mean, they're a really small club. I mean, they haven't been up for many years. I mean, they're running with, second, third, fourth tier football. So they're not they have a 10,000 seat stadium. It's not a huge place. The wages, the players aren't getting paid as much. It's hard to keep a league or a team going like that. A lot of these teams are hemorrhaging money as it is.
Yeah, I could see this being really bad. For real lower league soccer there in England, and I could see it being really bad just for like all of Europe.
Well, here's what will happen though, and this is a good thing for these groups. What will happen is big billionaires, Saudi kings and things like that, they'll come in and buy these teams for fucking cheap and pump money into them. So that's good. I mean, that's what a lot of these people do. So it will suck, but I think it'll be okay eventually.
Who the fuck knows if this is going to happen? But for the first time, the HBO NFL training camp show Hard Knocks will feature 2 teams this year, both Los Angeles, the Rams and the Chargers. It might air in fucking November, but if and when it airs, it will be a California duo. And yeah, that's it.
I'll tell you, the media really loves Sean McVay. I mean, didn't they have the Rams like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Why would 2 teams?
Am I the only
it was
person
like
on here
3
who's
years
never
ago,
watched
because it would have
Hard
been
Jeff
Fisher.
But
And
it's like
McVay's been there for. But hey, so do you guys like Hard Knocks anymore? My favorite team, the Raiders, was on last year. I was all excited for it. It was boring. It was like one of the worst seasons ever.
Hey, Greg.
Like, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse. Is
Hey,
it because
Greg,
we have a tolerance to it, or what's up?
Greg, get this. The only time I've ever seen anything from Hard Knocks was when I just saw the clip about Rex Ryan saying, "All right, let's go get a fucking snack."
All right, and now that Hard Knocks, and I'd like to actually go back and rewatch it to see if we just have a tolerance to it, or it's gotten worse. Because I remember watching that one with rapt attention, and I was like, "This is amazing."
Well, I'm a Jets fan though, so who knows?
No, okay, but I'm a Raiders fan, and I loved it. I was like, "This is the best show." You know, I didn't have HBO at the time. I remember being up at my buddy's cabin, and it was like, you know how they play them all right before like week 4 or whatever, and I stayed up all night. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Like, this is what I'm missing out not having HBO. And you know, I was really into it. I even liked when it was in Tampa Bay with Jameis. You know, I actually thought he was really likable, although I see why some people wouldn't want to have him. And then it just seemed like it's just got to be like less and less appointment television. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Did you guys watch it last year? I really didn't think it was that good. And it was my favorite team.
I haven't watched it the last 2 years, to be honest.
Yeah. So, did you ever watch it, Matt?
No. No, I've probably, since it's been on, seen like 3 or 4 episodes total.
Okay, see, so it was one of my favorite shows. Like, we were, like, when I was still working at UPS, like, we would talk about it, like, you know, like it was a game. Like, did you see the episode last night? You know, like, don't tell me, you know, I haven't seen it yet. I taped it or whatever, you know. But
I did not make a graphic for number 10, but I was going to make it whatever Spread can elaborate on whatever the fuck happened with the NBA 2K and betting on it. So what's the deal? What happened, Spread?
All right, so I'll try and give you guys like a brief breakdown. I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions on this because I have mine. So, you know, obviously these sports books are desperate for things to put out there for us to bet on, right? So ESPN put a tournament on. It was a 2K tournament, and it was the players playing each other in 2K, right? And, you know, they'd be on the headsets like we are talking to each other and stuff. And they decided they wanted to spread this. Well, the problem was that it was pre-recorded. And then it came on like last night. It was Thursday night at 4 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. your time, right? But these are pre-recorded, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I need some money, right? Like normally I wouldn't even like venture into this type of gambling, right? Because I don't want to get my account flagged and things like that, right? But in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's pre-recorded. The line moves are actually going to mean something, right? Because somebody's going to get this damn information and they're going to bet it. And then the books are going to move the lines, right? So I should be able to figure out. Normally I would say don't chase the steam. But in this case with the pre-recorded event, I'm all for chasing steam, right? Because it means that I'm finding out the actual result, right? So I went home and went ahead and parlayed because I'm like, okay, I need money, right? Like we are not making any money right now. It's professional gamblers. So I parlayed all 4 of the ones that had taken money, you know, even though I was getting a worse number, right? And anyways, long story short, they voided all the wages this morning, right? So there's this huge blow up online. You know, because everyone
did it leak out, Spread what the scores were before the games were televised?
I didn't actually see scores, and the thing was the week before. This is why I was also careful too, and just was going for the 1 home run parlay. The week before, it had leaked out that DeMarcus Cousins won, and I saw people in my group drop, like the max that they were allowing to spread on it, like $500, and it turns out he didn't win, right? So at that point, they kept the wagers. But this time, when it turns out the leaks were correct, they canceled all the wagers. So 5 Dimes and Bet Online both took this action. And Bet Online with Dave Mason is much more in tune with their public relations, and they understand the threat of legalization, and they don't want this kind of shady, offshore reputation. So during the course of the day, when I was messaging you about it, he ended up getting with the team that did it, and he went back and got all those wagers corrected. So actually, we did get paid out, the people that were chasing this team and going off the leaks or whatever, right?
So
5 Dimes
you
did
hit
not.
The parlay? You hit
the 14? So I
14?
did. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
what did it pay?
$1,700.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's good because we don't really we have UFC taken away from us, right? I was going to try and to make the mortgage and the bills off that one next weekend, so that got taken away. So it's like, normally I wouldn't even mess with this sort of thing, but and when I originally wrote you about it, because I was really going to be able to complain and have the ant rant that basically they were free rolling, because let's say all this information was wrong, I guarantee they wouldn't have my $170 wager or whatever. They wouldn't have.
Right. They wouldn't have refunded me. Though, is,
what's up?
If you don't have the money to pay your mortgage, just don't pay it, because no one's going to be paying their mortgage. So everyone's a squatter. What are they going to do? Send a sheriff to everyone's house at the same time to kick you out?
Okay, right. I'm not actually worried about not paying my mortgage. Like, I have savings and everything. I'm just cheap, and I don't want to go into my savings.
Anything that comes out of Anthony's mouth, just don't listen.
What?
So I'll tell you what, though. Bet Online went up in my mind tenfold on this, because 5 Dimes is shady. They just canceled. They just canceled all the wagers, and they're just, kind of slow rolling. And where Bet Online got out there, and they did it right away. So I said, this is good, especially with legalization coming. This would be something that would encourage me to stay with their book.
So 5 Dimes fucked everybody?
Yeah, they just canceled all the wagers.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think they're stupid to spread a pre-recorded event to begin with. At least on the betting on wrestling, this time it was pre-recorded, but at least it's live, and there's a chance that Vince McMahon can change the script, or one of the wrestlers.
They've always had betting on WrestleMania, though.
Yeah, and they only have $25 or $50 limits, and I'm sure they don't mind that they're going to get crushed on it. I'm sure that they do it just. It's almost like giving away a bonus money or something, But a pre-recorded event, I just think that they're crazy for even spreading that to begin with. How can you allow, how in this age, right? I can imagine 20 years ago you could have done this, but in this age of the internet, how did they think that this wasn't going to get out?
I don't know.
So yeah, that was my Bet Online story for the day.
But they paid you out though, so it's a worse story. It would have been a better story if they.
Well, when I was originally telling Jay, it was all up in the air, and I was really worked up about it. But since then, it got resolved, and Dave Mason jumped in, and then basically everyone's wagers got fixed.
It would have made for better television if they free rolled.
If that's not a sign of the times, that spreads betting 14 $170 parlays on fucking NBA 2K games.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what is.
Yeah, because normally those sort of things, I always not looking into them. Even for the national anthem props. I usually don't like betting the leaks because I just figure it's going to get my account flagged.
I have not made a single bet in probably at least 3 weeks now.
You haven't been betting the weather?
No.
The weather.
Oh my God. It. Yeah, there was a dude who was just betting out or tweeting out his weather plays for 3 straight days on Twitter the other day. He has over 10,000 Twitter followers on gambling Twitter, and he was giving out all of his weather plays. And it's just what we're doing now, tweeting out the weather.
Bro, I'm watching people bet on the open and close of the Dow Jones.
Yeah, I see that too. that even makes a little more sense to me, right? Because it is somewhat predictable.
Well, I think what's going on now is like either you're tweeting out you're betting on the Dow Jones or the weather, or you just completely turned your former gambling Twitter account into an anti-USA coronavirus account.
Oh wow! Okay, okay. I can tell who that's referring to.
Yeah. So.
Fucking ant.
What? I mean, you're tweeting at the guy. You're tweeting shade at the guy, and you don't even have the balls to fucking at him.
I'm tweeting shade?
Yeah, you're tweeting shade at him, and you didn't even have the balls to add him in the tweet.
What tweet was I tweeting shade?
Who?
I'll pull it up right now. You shader.
Who?
Hold on, Jay. I got you. Hold on. Let's see here.
I haven't pointed a tweet at anybody in a while. It's been like Rose McGowan. I mean,
the gamblers that are obsessed with the virus and love the reaction to sports being shut down are this way for a reason. You couldn't support yourself and run a household betting on sports. The $2,000 in aid you're getting from your government because of the virus is more than you ever made in a month betting.
He didn't add anybody.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He was talking in general terms.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, because in general terms, it's a Canadian because it's $2,000 a month, and
why don't you mind your fucking business, Ant? How about that?
I'm reading your tweet, Dave. It's out there for the world to see on your Twitter account. You're throwing shade, but you didn't have the balls to fucking at the guy.
Yes,
at him next time. And I was like, get the popcorn out.
Yo, I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
How much money would you be willing to pay for tomorrow morning? Life is back to normal completely. You can do whatever you want. You can go to games. You don't got to worry about nothing. You get all sports back. What would be the dollar amount you would
I would say out of what I could afford, I would legit.
Well, no, is it what you can afford, or is it what mythical money?
If it's not mythical,
let's say you had.
I would pay $5,000.
Okay, let's say here's a better question. Let's say Bill Gates hands you $100,000 and he says, "Listen, Matt, you're a nice guy. I'm going to give you $100,000, and it's just free money. How much of that would you be willing to give for life to be back normal?"
Well, and so sports back to normal and life, like
life.
15, 20 grand.
We're taking you back to like Christmas. Your life was normal.
15,
I would pay
grand.
right now $5,000 of my own money in my bank account to go back to normal.
I would do 5 right now of my own money.
Yeah, of my personal money. I would write a check tonight.
Yeah.
If we could reverse it and go back multiple weeks, so that way the NCAA is not canceled.
All right, let's say you go back to January 1st.
I'd empty out my 401k.
Oh, shut up, you fucking Creighton homer. You're the most frugal Jew I've ever met in my life. I'd empty out my 401k.
You're Jewish?
Out of here. No. Anthony is a Jew by practice.
You might want to take that.
Yeah, I wonder who's more frugal, Ant, me or you?
I hate cheap people. They're the worst.
I'm not sure.
I barely spend any money.
Every
time, like I have a chance, I sit there and I think, like, would I rather have that or would I rather just have this money? And it usually comes down to me having the money.
That's my problem, bro. I'm the other way. Like
my problem is like I'm very frugal, but my husband's not. So
okay.
I'm as frugal as can be, but I still find money disappearing because it's like, oh yeah, that's right. He still has a debit card, and we have a joint checking account, and he still spends the fucking money.
All right, what about this? What about this, Anthony? I'm going to aim this at you first. You'll be number one.
Okay.
Let's say life comes back to normal tomorrow, but you are the you're basically the guy that's going to have to pay the piper for everybody. So you're going to have to go tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. They're going to come to your house, and they're going to take you to the nearest federal prison, wherever that is. That would be for you. It would be like Oklahoma City, I think. That would be your closest. You have to go there for 3 months, but you basically put the entire United States back to normal.
Jay doesn't have coronavirus. Jay's dad doesn't have coronavirus.
Nobody has. No, let's say you people that have it will be cured, but no one else will get it. And in a week, we'll be back to normal because the case will just fucking level off.
You know what Anthony would say? Hey, Jay, good luck with that coronavirus, buddy.
You wouldn't do it?
I mean,
I would do a year.
I would do a year as well. I agree with that. 100%.
No, I wouldn't do an hour.
You guys, I'd be worried about trying to make it in there.
I wouldn't.
You're talking about a federal penitentiary?
No, I'm talking about like, let's just say maybe even. Hold on a second.
No.
Maybe
Jeffrey.
No, hold on one second. First of all, spread. Let's just say they're going to send you to like the prison that Michael Cohen's at. It's like the lowest.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm not going to a federal penitentiary though.
Yeah, you're not going to go to like a USP
up the street for me. Yeah, I'm not going there.
Okay, I get that.
I don't think I'd make it.
What if they say a month?
Let me put it this way. Have you looked at me? I'm way too adorable and supple to be going to the prison.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Yeah, but you would be. I mean, you wouldn't have to worry a ton because you're kind of into that. So
he said supple.
I'm not looking to get gangbanged, dude.
Well, you're not going to get gangbanged. They don't happen.
And did you use the word supple on the show?
Like they say, when you go to prison,
it is a good word.
You're not going to get gangbanged, dude.
Dude, I'm not a shanker or a fighter.
That's not going to happen, dude.
No, I'm not going to prison. Fuck that shit.
So you wouldn't do it for everyone else.
So for all of humanity, you wouldn't for 1 month.
He'd be a hero forever.
He would rather go to my funeral than go
be a hero
to the
forever.
Fucking, yeah,
I don't even think he would. I don't think
you think Warren Buffett's famous and a hero. You'd be bigger than Warren Buffett.
Like, let me put you this way. I have empathy for other people as long as it doesn't negatively affect me.
Yeah, but you would be a national hero. You'd be like the Armageddon guys, the guys from Armageddon.
Now, and what if you could swing it into monetization? Like all of a sudden you're getting endorsements.
He could write a book about it.
You saved the world. Right, exactly. You just made $5 million.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so you're saying everybody would know that I saved the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like the guys from Armageddon in that movie.
You could monetize that into $50 million, bro.
Oh, no. When you put it that way.
Remember in Armageddon, the guy goes, they're going to name schools after us after this.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that in Armageddon. I would be like, let it blow up.
You are such a cunt.
I think it would be actually interesting. It'd be good research, and you could write a book about it, you know?
Oh, like Piper from Orange is the New Black?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think it'd be. I've often said I'd be willing to. Like, I don't want to go, but I would. I think it'd be fascinating research. Really,
you would go. Would you would go to prison for like a year, Jeff? Like with no protection, like
if I could
hardcore shit.
If I could pick where I go, I would be willing. 100%.
I don't even think I could last. I don't even think I could last in that minimum security female prison from Orange is the New Black.
Again, I would want to pick, but if
Red was scary, man.
Yeah, I guess if I could
pick
pick an all-female prison, that wouldn't be that bad.
That's a no-brainer. I would do a year if everyone was healed and it just went away, and I could come out of prison and monetize it. Fuck yeah.
Well, Matt,
I agree.
Matt, think of how many alligator skin shoes you can buy with all the money you can monetize.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Matt's shoe game, bro.
My shoe game is nice.
What do you mean shoe game? Like
your shoe game? Oh, you got to see this motherfucker's got like alligator fucking pointed shoes and shit.
Like actually.
He's got like a shoe game, a legitimate shoe game.
You don't see a lot of people like
that.
They're
pretty dope. Jay thought it was atrocious because Jay has no style, but
here we go. Why is your default motion to shit on Jay?
Jay's not supple like you.
Because because that's been the shtick for the show for over a fucking year. I mean, your default mode is to ignore everything I say.
That's not true.
Dude, you forgot like 15 conversations about music we had on the Court 3 Rule.
Your fucking taste in music alarms me.
Dude, we have virtually the same taste.
We do, yes, but I never hear you talk about like other genres of music.
You do, you just ignore it.
I mean,
I fucking respond.
His musical tastes are pretty bad, if we can remember.
Thank you.
He likes like that.
Like I like his hard rock taste, right? And like he likes Amy Winehouse and Lady Gaga, right? Which is more pop. But
remember, he liked that one weird group that
Ghost and Rammstein. Yeah,
that sucks. That shit's
well,
terrible.
well, first of all, Ghost is like the most popular rock band of the last decade,
which is incredible. The fact that that's true.
Rammstein sells out stadiums. Like
I know.
Rammstein. You listen to a Rammstein riff, like they have the catchiest, most awesome hard rock riff.
Dude, Rammstein sucks, dude.
Swati, what's your thoughts on Rammstein, Ghost, Amy Winehouse, and Lady Gaga?
Oh shit.
0 for 4. I listen. Jeff and I could probably listen to the same thing all day.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Probably.
But yeah, no, that's.
How can you hate Amy Winehouse? She's amazing.
No, I mean, actually, of the 4, I prefer her. She had a nice she had like a crackly voice, and I didn't mind her. Yeah, she completely looked like a crackhead.
Gaga, I don't mind, but the others, I'm good.
Oh, I love Lady
Gaga was in Sopranos.
She was. She was in. She had a non-speaking role, but yeah.
Lady Gaga had so many bangers. It's ridiculous.
Doesn't Ann look like the lead singer of the fucking what are they called, Jay? The Smashing Pumpkins.
Billy Corgan.
Exactly like doesn't he?
They were pretty good.
I don't know what that looks like.
Pumpkins. You don't know what Billy Corgan looks like? He's a bald white guy. We all think.
I like.
Oh yeah,
Pumpkins.
You do kind of look like him. You kind of look like Johnny Sins as well.
Wait, that's a porn star, right?
Yeah.
All right, I like how Greg immediately laughed, and I have no idea.
Greg loves porn. That was discussed last time.
No, and it also made me laugh. It goes back to the Kaepernick one earlier. That guy always does that. He took one where Johnny Sins played like a military guy, and he'll tweet like famous.
He wrote the other day. He wrote, "Sad, Sergeant Johnny Sins passed away from coronavirus."
Yeah.
And so many people are like, "Oh my God, rest that fallen hero."
He always do that. Like my cousin was a soldier.
Oh my God. That's pretty funny. Are we done with the categories? I'm going to bounce.
Yeah, you're good, buddy.
I got one more for you if you got a little more time, Twatty.
Yeah.
All right, let's say I heard this on a podcast. Let's say you were going to make an all-time NFL team, and we'll skip offensive line. But I figure we would talk about who you would put on your team.
We know he's not putting Jameis anywhere.
Yeah, but this is an all-time team.
I'm not putting Ben anywhere either, in fairness. What? So what? 2 receivers, a tight end, and like 1 running back?
Yeah, we'll do that.
I mean, I'd really have to. I mean, I would just quickly. I would probably be like Barry Sanders in the backfield. Okay. I really liked Earl Campbell was one of my favorites in the backfield. I really like those guys. And the wideouts, I'd have one of them would probably have to be Randy Moss for me. Just unbelievable in his prime. I don't know. I don't know. Quarterback, I would probably go with the GOAT, maybe Brady. Tight end, you know who I'd do tight end? A lot of people may not even remember him. Kellen Winslow,
Senior.
Senior.
Yeah.
But Kellen Winslow Jr. is more interesting.
Yeah, he is. But I'd probably go senior there. And then the other wideout, I don't know. I'd have to kick that one around.
Has to be Jerry Rice.
I don't know. I don't go by just the most popular or the best yards. I go by kind of like, my favorite. Like my favorite wide receiver of all time is Hines Ward, and he would never make an all-time team. But yeah, I'd say that would probably be my personal team.
And who would you put on your defense?
LT.
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence Taylor, you got to have on there. I would probably get the old brute, Dick Butkus on there. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. My DBs would definitely be prime time. And I don't know if you guys remember this guy, Antoine Winfield.
You choose him?
Oh, I love him.
Like Mel Blount?
Oh, no, you're right. Mel Blount. Mel Blount, definitely.
Antoine Winfield, he's got a kid in the draft this year.
I know, he's going real high. But he was one of my favorite. But you're right. Mel Blount was ahead of his time.
Yeah, because I was thinking for the defense, we get a lot of your Steelers out there, right?
Yeah, and I'd probably go Troy at safety or Ed Reed. And then I would go Blunt and Dion. And up front, I'd probably have some Steelers. Mean Joe definitely up front. But that's all off the top of my head. What do you guys think?
Who would you have, Ant?
I like Randy Moss. I take Jerry Rice. Obviously, the GOAT. Obviously, Barry Sanders. And Gronk.
Gronk, yeah. I forgot about the tight end of Winslow Jr.
Oh, guys, TMZ investigates Taggart.
Who would you have as your quarterback?
I would probably have Brady as well.
So I'm the only old guy in here that would go Montana, huh?
Well, I mean, it's really not. It's not even that interesting in a conversation because everyone just goes Brady.
By the way,
that's why I'm switching it up. I'm going Montana.
Yo, guys, I get a question, and this is. I know what you all say. We'll say, well, he won Super Bowls, but it's actually wild that Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame.
Like, he was terrible. Dude.
His fucking stats, it's unreal. Yeah.
He was crazy. Like 50%. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking wild.
Keep going.
Jay, who would you have on your team?
That.
Keep going, Jeff.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another two. Swan and Stallworth. Their stats were terrible.
Yeah, but that was back when you could make contact like 15 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Jeff, do you got his stats? Could you please read off Joe Montana's all-time QBR? Oh,
Montana or Namath?
No, Namath. Oh,
it's terrible.
Montana's is pretty good.
Listen to these stats. Okay, it's unreal. I would
love to listen to
50% completion percentage. Oof. He had 4 seasons where he threw 22 or more interceptions.
Oh,
he basically threw an interception on 6% of his passes, every 6%. He threw 173 TDs, had 220 interceptions.
Oh,
fucking Christ. How is this guy in the fucking Hall of Fame? He's horrific.
Oh, yeah. My God. Jeff, you just stepped into a landmine because Jay and I have been having this argument for a year.
I mean, there's really no comparison. He's horrible. He won some Super Bowls and, he has that, like, larger-than-life personality.
He had the guarantee. He had. That's what was his claim to fame. We guarantee that we'll beat them as a 16-point underdog, and they pulled it off.
I mean, but his
stats are terrible.
He literally didn't have like more than one season where he threw 4 touchdowns and interceptions.
Here's the caveat to that whole thing, too, is a lot of people, when you look at those old offensive statistics, you go, well, the league was different then. And there should be a lot of like understanding. Yes, okay, the league was different then, so the numbers do look worse by comparison. But even for the time, Joe Namath's numbers were mediocre at best. Even for the time. Even back in the 1960s and 70s, those numbers were still kind of But, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer because he wore a first.
It's the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Stats.
Shut up, Greg.
I'm looking up Swans right now. They were abysmal. Like, I think he never had like 1,000-yard season, if that's possible. Oh, my God.
They allow you to
listen to these seasons for yards for Swan. 208, 780, 516, 580, 880, 808, 710, 505, 265. That would be like 60th in the league now. He had here's his yards, 5,000 yards for his career.
But look up 1,000-yard receivers in the 70s? Like how many were there?
No,
they only played 14 games right there. You know,
you got to remember defensive backs were allowed to rate more than Ben Roethlisberger back then. Wow. So it's just the receivers had a hard time getting separation.
Wait, here. How about his high season in catches was 61?
Oh God! What the fuck is 61?
He's 61.
He's his next highest on an average team.
His next highest was 50.
Right, but it was a running game back then, right? You only threw on third down if it was more than 5 yards.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. So, I'll tell you what. Bradshaw's statistics weren't good either. I think he threw as many picks as he did touchdowns as well.
But how was he compared to the people of his day? And that's my thing, right? It's like we say his stats suck, but if we pulled up all the other 70s quarterback, I'll bet you they'd look pretty good. I mean, back then, all they did was hand the ball off unless it was like 3rd and 5 or more, right? Like 1st and 2nd down were almost auto runs, right?
Well, only you and Matt would remember.
52% completion and 212 touchdowns, 210 picks.
For Bradshaw?
Bradshaw did have more touchdowns than interceptions, unlike Joe Namath.
By 2, yeah.
What was Joe Namath's touchdown interception ratio again? 173 to 220.
That's so bad. My God.
And you guys are talking shit about Jameis Winston?
How about Bradshaw's rookie year? 6 touchdowns, 24 picks. What? Holy shit.
All right. Is that all the topics, guys? I think it might be time to wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm out. Hey, Jay, hit me up next time you guys come on.
Yeah, no doubt, brother.
All right, see you guys.
Later, buddy.
Later.
See ya, man.
Jay, who would you have as your all-time like quarterbacks and running backs and stuff?
I mean, all-time quarterbacks, I guess, would be 1 and 2 would be Montana and Brady, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Running backs are tough, man. Herschel Walker would be up there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, definitely OJ. I guess Dickerson. I was never really a fan of like Jeff, you listen to Francesa, right? And you know how he always talks about compilers shouldn't make the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
What do you think about Emmitt Smith? Isn't he a compiler?
Oh, yeah, he's a compiler, totally.
Like, I don't know.
Barry Sanders was 10 times the running back.
100%.
Yeah.
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 Who would you go with receivers? Because I wouldn't put Moss on my list, but I'll tell you, I'm being jaded just from the year that he quit on the Raiders.
Yeah, you're jaded because Moss was maybe you need to go watch some more Moss when he was with the Vikings because that was absurd.
Right, but I'm talking about my list. This is the top 2 receivers of all time.
You know who one of the most dominating players in his time was? I might get shit for this, but I don't care. Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Why would I give you shit for that?
I actually think he's a better receiver than Randy Moss.
Because a lot of people like, oh, what about
Are either of them better than Rice?
No, but I think Terrell Owens is probably the second best receiver ever. Like,
really?
He was a physically dominating person, man.
Who would I put for my number 2?
Like I put him on.
I know you and Anthony just shit all over Joe Namath, right? But
yeah,
Don Maynard, his number 1 wideout at the time, was really good for his era.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think like for again, it was a different era. I get that, but I mean his numbers are really, really bad.
Yeah, I fight with.
I think I would put Steve Largent ahead of Moss and Owens.
Really?
The guy from Seattle?
He was good.
The best tight end ever is Gronk.
You think so?
You put Steve Largent ahead of Moss and Owens?
You cannot put a white guy as one of your all-time favorite wide receivers.
Why not?
That is a bad take, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either, personally.
Okay, well, he was on some pretty bad teams, and he put up numbers all the time, got open all the time.
He's on the all-time white guy list for sure.
Yeah, okay.
I think Gronk's one of the most physically dominating players I've ever seen at NFL.
Gronk at tight end, yeah, he
literally couldn't be stopped. Like,
and he could block too, so you can't just say he was one dimensional.
What about what's the all-time white quarterback list? Wasn't there only one?
Phil Simms.
No, cornerback.
Wait.
Oh, corner.
Corner? Jason Sehorn, local kid.
I was going to say, isn't Jason Sehorn the only white guy who played corner in the NFL for the last 20 years?
Probably.
No, there were other ones.
Oh, what about the guy that used to be on the fucking? Well, he's a safety, but the guy that used to be on the Ravens.
Who? Eric Weddle?
Yeah, Eric Weddle.
I don't think he played corner very much at all.
No, he was a safety.
What about that kid, Chris Conti? He played corner, or he played safety too.
Yeah, all-time tight end list. Somebody nobody talks about, but was unbelievable.
Tony Gonzalez.
Mark Bavaro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was good.
No, he was really good.
I would put Todd Christensen above him though, but we're going with our local favorites there.
If we're talking about all-time tight end lists, that is my cue to say have a good night.
Later.
All right, Ant. I'll talk to you.
We're approaching 3 hours. I'll say let's call it a night. Have a good one.
All right, be good, buddy.
Later. Hey, at least he said bye tonight. He usually just leaves.
Yeah, I know. So what do you think? So Marvin Harrison is T.O. and Moss both better than Harrison?
I think Marvin Harrison is. I really liked him. I thought he was a terrific player. I don't think he's at that level, but he's right up there.
Yeah.
I think Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, you got to give him some love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you guys know like anything about Marvin Harrison now or anything?
I know he killed someone with a shotgun, right?
Yeah, like this. I don't know if you know this, Jay. Like a lot of people don't know this, but Marvin Harrison is like, he's like one of these people that literally everyone's scared of in Philadelphia. Like when he walks down the street, he's like Omar from.
He's like Omar, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like
what?
Yeah, like he's like been known to like he'll just like walk up to someone and start beating them up with a fucking baseball bat. Like he's like a crime lord almost. And
does he have CTE?
No.
He's just always been like that, right? And that's why he was so quiet, right?
Yeah, he's just like a real like nut. Like he's just
you never heard a peep or a bad word about the guy when he was in the league.
Yeah, well it was interesting because back like many years ago, it was like 2008, I think, he shot this drug dealer outside of this like mechanic shop he owned. And then he just started like popping up in like all these different shootings, and like he's pretty feared. Like he'll just beat people up. He's a nut, this guy. Like
wow.
Like a lot of people are scared of Marvin Harrison.
Jesus.
But yeah, he's got a kid. His kid's actually a pretty good player.
Yeah, no, I read about that. I read that he was really doing it. That's why he was so quiet. You know how like the loud guy isn't the guy you're really afraid of,
and he
like real quiet.
Always gets off because like he's like famous and it's like hood shit, so like nobody cares. Yeah. But like he like if people fuck with him, he just goes and like puts guns in their faces and is like, "Look, you're not gonna do shit, and if you do, I'm gonna come back." Like he's a crazy dude, man. Like
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna play in this $50 tournament right now.
Yeah, you have to look it up. He's pretty interesting, that dude.
That's something I would have never known. He seemed like the quietest, nicest dude.
No, he is. That's the thing. He's like this, like got this like switch. Yeah, like the FBI was looking into him and shit.
Yeah,
like, he's a nut, Marvin Harrison.
You know, it's one with. So I was doing this, and I was listening to podcasts doing it. You know, doing this little all-time team. And the one that really pissed me off the most, where I like felt like an old guy, where like my guys weren't getting respect, is when people were putting like Paul Amalo and Ed Reed above Ronnie Lott. Like to me, Ronnie Lott will always be the greatest
over everybody.
Really, over the guy that cut his finger off at halftime to keep playing.
Well,
Brian
he was a
fucking.
Yeah, he was kind of before my time. So
I mean, if you go back and watch Ronnie Lott, he was pretty much everything that Brian Dawkins did. You know, he just was basically first doing it. You know, like the hard hits. Just, I mean, to me, he was just growing up like the greatest defensive.
I mean, you'd have to agree.
Besides
like,
Lawrence Taylor,
Ray Lewis definitely the best linebacker.
Really? I would say Lawrence Taylor. So I think that's
yeah, or like
Lawrence Taylor for sure.
Okay.
And then who would you guys have as your rush ends? I think that's an interesting one. I think
Reggie White's on the list.
Yeah, I was thinking Reggie White and Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith definitely on the list.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think in his prime, I thought J.J. Watt was an unbelievable player.
Yeah, see, he's
like Michael Strahan was a great player.
Yeah, J.J. Watt definitely.
This is kind of a random guy, but do you guys remember that guy Jared Allen? He was a pretty good player as well.
Oh, the white dude from Minnesota?
He played for Minnesota, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was badass.
Oh, he was a beast.
Warren Sapp, he was a good player.
Yeah, but Warren Sapp, he was a tackle, right?
He was more of a tackle. Same with Strahan and even Watt. I think on my all-time team, I put him in the middle, and I'd have.
I would have a hard time going like 1 and 2 would probably be Reggie Smith and Reggie White and Bruce Smith. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, and then I'm always trying to think who my other corner would be. Obviously, like Dion's the shoe, and I'm always trying to think who my other corner would be.
What about Revis, bro?
Oh yeah, he was good.
I often say I think he's the best corner ever outside of Woodson and Sanders, probably.
One thing the Jets did right was fucking draft a kid from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Jeff Okudah, I think he's on that kind of level.
He's that good.
I think he is. I think he's got all the.
Jeff, I couldn't say it because my internet got fucked up the morning we were doing the top 5. But wouldn't you say the easiest pick in the top 5 is for Detroit to take Okudah?
Unless they trade it.
I think
I heard they're shopping it too.
I think
Darius Slay is on Philly now, right?
Yeah, the first 3 picks I think are the most easy picks you could ever make.
Did you guys see the rumor about the Giants today?
No. But there's a rumor.
The Simmons kid from Clemson at 4 instead of an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with Donnie about that. I was thinking they'd either take a linebacker or a lineman.
I think they got to take that. I think they got to take Mekhi Becton, bro.
Yeah, Becton. I mean, I think they would take Jedrick Wills just because Joe Judge is an SEC guy. I think
they need so much help to protect Daniel Jones. How do they not go with an offensive lineman?
Yeah, but I mean, Simmons is a really good player, and he could play 2 different positions.
But that's my question for you, right? I know that he's a versatile linebacker, safety kind of kid, right? But my question is, I don't know if he gets past NFL caliber offensive lineman as a linebacker. I think he's more safety.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I mean, the kid runs a 4.39.
Yeah.
I mean, he's flying past people. And he's got so much upper body strength that, he's just going to, just blow by. He's a tackling machine, too. You know what you're getting with him? You're basically getting Darius Leonard. Like, that's what you're getting with Simmons. And he can literally captain your defense. He's I remember in his heyday, Luke Kuechly. I mean, Luke Kuechly was a phenomenal player. He's like that. Like, he's like the Darius Leonard, Luke Kuechly. I mean,
Darius Leonard at caliber that kid led the league in tackles as a rookie.
And the thing about Simmons is he does literally everything. He can do everything. He plays zone. He can play man. He can cover a linebacker or a running back. He can cover a tight end. He can stop the run. I mean, he's really versatile with everything. So, yeah, I don't hate that pick. I would more or less go lineman there if I'm the Giants, but I don't have a problem with that pick.
Yeah, personally, I would probably take an old lineman. Who do you now? I'm hearing a lot of Justin Herbert at 5. You don't think the Dolphins take Tua?
Well, no, it's funny it might have been on Pub Search Radio we did this, but we went over each position group. And at this point, if I were Miami, I would probably take Herbert over Tua. And it's not that I don't like Tua. I worry that he's damaged goods, and that's what he is.
Stay on the field.
Yeah, he's always going to be that Carson Wentz type of player, which, I always knock on wood that I hope Carson's not that guy. But, I look at Herbert, and I just think he's a safer player. I think he has the ability to really do everything. He's your typical quarterback. I think he's really gifted. My only issue with Herbert is, and I've seen him play in a lot of big games. I remember 2 years ago I think it was the Cheez-It Bowl. He really laid an egg. I mean, really laid an egg. So I think there's certain things where sometimes just you play poor, but I worry about him in against really good competition. But
so, did you see the Tua Pro Day tape, Jeff?
yeah.
So do you know? So like for me, like I can watch games and kind of say, okay, I think this translates. I think this doesn't. When we're going down into pro days and stuff, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Was that a good tape or no?
Well, I think it was. I mean, I think those tapes are pretty. I mean, I think you can look good on any. You always can look good on those, but it's really. Do you want to waste or not waste? But do you want to put? Because Miami really, they have to assess the risk. Are they willing to say, you know what, if this doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but we got to do it. And that's where I think a lot of teams are nowadays. Look at Arizona. I mean, they've done that. They went out and get Josh Rosen, and then like, well, we don't like Josh Rosen. We're just going to take Kyler Murray. So,
right.
I think Miami's in a position where, and
if there's any year to take the flyer, though, wouldn't it be this year with Trevor coming out next year?
Right, and that's the thing. And it also helps Tua that Trent Dilfer basically said that Tua is going to be a legend.
Yeah, did you see that? Yeah.
So, I mean, that doesn't hurt either. I mean, Trent Dilfer did win a Super Bowl, surprisingly enough. But, I think there's when you have an injured player, I think it really hurt. I mean, there are guys that, are in the second, third round, but they're first round talents, and the problems are injuries. Sometimes you just got damaged goods, some of these guys.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I think that 5 is the real crapshoot. I mean, I think that's a true 50-50 at this point. Like if I were to put odds on who they're going to take, I'd say it's 50% either way.
I think some of these teams, though, are going to get got with some of these corners because I'm really I don't understand this corner market because Okuda's on another level. So we'll put him off this market. But you look at all the corners that are higher up right now. So like Christian Fulton, Jeff Gladney, guys like that. I actually have other guys ahead of them, and it's interesting how the market's kind of pricing some of these cornerbacks and how they think certain guys are going to go ahead of others. It's kind of weird.
I think we'll have some real opportunities to make some cash with the NFL draft props. Is there a prop for Okuda over under 3.5? Because I would bet a decent amount of money.
Yeah, I actually think I bet that already. I bet some 2-3 weeks ago. I bet under a half a running back. I bet over 5.5 receivers. Yeah, I think I did Okuda. I think you know what I did, Jay? I think I got under 4.5 on Okuda. I think it was plus 170.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
How does he not go 3?
I'm pretty sure.
The only way he does it is somebody trades up to grab a quarterback.
Because I think there's a large reason to think that my whole thing was I think if you're the Lions, you have to realize Miami's going to be able to get the quarterback they want at 5 because the Giants aren't taking a quarterback. So I guess it really depends on do they want to get one more pick and how much do they love Matthew Stafford. But with Patricia being a defensive guy, I think you have to go with Okuda, and I think Patricia knows that.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going. I mean, Matt Stafford to me is a top 15 guy.
I think he's. I mean, I could even make the case he might even be better than top 15. Yeah. And he's got a terrific group of receivers. I think Detroit's in a good spot. I think if they can go out and get Okuda, I really like what they're doing going forward because until Stafford got injured last year, we have to remember, I mean, they were pretty decent. They were having a great year. I mean, they were playing really well in games and doing their thing, and then he gets injured. It kind of just hurt.
And then when they traded Quadre Diggs, even though on the field that doesn't make a big deal, supposedly there's a big locker room and issues when that happened.
And the great thing about getting rid of Slay is you don't have to pay him all that money, and Okuda's under control for 3-4 years, and you don't have to pay him big money. So that's I think something that I think they're really.
So are you worried about Slay in Philly with his PFF going down each year?
No, because this team has had such bad cornerback play for so long that you have to realize, Spread, they haven't had good cornerback play since Asante Samuel was there, and that was early 2010.
I still remember when you guys signed Nnamdi from us, and you put him in his zone, and it was just terrible. Mess. The guys played man. He played man at Cal, then he plays man at Oakland for 8 years, and you try and make him a zone corner.
I mean,
it's
just
right 50 million a year or whatever. It was just crazy.
Yeah, it's just really. I mean, I had a Nam Diasama jersey. We were so excited.
And as a Raiders fan, it ruins his legacy. Like, if he doesn't go to Philly into that zone, I think he's in that conversation with Revis. But it ruined his reputation, right? Because he got so exposed for basically just being a man guy, and that's it.
I mean, as far as I remember, I don't think he ended up playing after that. Like,
I think he got signed one spot, and it didn't work out at all.
Maybe San Francisco, I think.
Yeah, and it didn't work at all. Yeah, it was San Francisco. Now that you mention it,
you know what he does now, though? I don't know if you know this, but he's an actor now.
Oh, really? What's he in?
Yeah, he was in this movie called Crown Heights. It's actually
I've heard of that.
It was actually a pretty good movie. It's about this this guy that basically, represents this this guy that is wrongly accused. You know who's in it as well? Chris Partlow from The Wire. He's in it.
Oh wow, okay.
But no. By the way, with Okuda, you can get under 4.5 at 5. Well, I don't know if we should talk about 5 Dimes, but 5 Dimes has it right now.
And what is it at? What's the number?
Plus 110.
Unbelievable. Okay, I'll log on and do that right now.
Yeah.
I'm at that for $100 right now. There's no way.
I actually got to be honest. Today, I put a sizable wager on Chase Young under 2.5. It's a bolt. It's not losing.
Yeah, I mean, Chase Young is right. Like most people have him as the highest rated player in the draft, right? It's just he's not a quarterback, and quarterbacks mean more than defensive ends, right? So if you need both, you have to grab the quarterback. But I mean, isn't he pretty much like a perfect prospect?
Yeah, I laid a pretty good amount to win 500. I mean, I laid a lot, but I mean, I think it's a solid, quick come up there.
Yeah, and I've heard that the teams aren't really trying to trade up because both Miami and Los Angeles Chargers, who are the teams that want the quarterbacks, are just like, well, whatever, we'll just get whoever comes to us.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like they don't have to trade up because Redskins are going to take Young. The Lions, they're not going to take a quarterback, and neither are the Giants. So,
by the way, I 100% agree. You got Ron Rivera in there, defensive coach that's not going to fuck around. There's no way that they're not taking Chase Young at 2. There's just no way.
And like, I'll be the first to say it. Like, if you want to make money betting props, you've got to lay money. Like, if you're not one, like nobody wants to lay 550, but
what did you have to lay on that?
550.
Yeah.
What about this one right here? Just Jeff Okuda at number 3 overall at plus 145.
Yeah, I'm betting that. I'll tell you right now.
Because that's the only that if you lose, you lose. That's the
I'm gonna put 100 on it right now.
Yeah, 100. I wanted. I'm betting that same prop if I could find it. And I'm betting the Chase Young prop under 2.5 too, because
let's go through these. I'll just bang them out right now. Young under 2.5. Tagovailoa over 3.5.
At what?
Minus 200. Herbert over 5.5. I would bet
and that's gone up because that was about minus 160 a couple days ago on the
as much as I want Herbert to go 5, he's not. He's going to go 6, so I'd go over there. Under 4.5 Okuda. Simmons, I'd go at this point under 7.5 minus.
Why is the number so low on Tua? Why is it 3.5 and not like 5?
Because the Lions are the team that people would trade up for, and if you're going to trade up, you're probably trading up for Tua.
And I think they have some weird premonition that like Tagovailoa is going to go 2, which he is. Simmons, I go under 7.5 minus 255 because if the Giants don't take him, the Panthers will.
Yep.
Derek Brown, I'll tell you what, that kid, Derek Brown, he reminds me a lot of your boy, Quinn Williams.
Yeah.
Good kid, like him a lot. Becton, I'm big on him. I've said that before, but I'm worried. I feel like he's going to go 9. I have a weird feeling.
Why? What did they set it at 8.5?
Yeah. And I could see 8 working Arizona, but I think it's going to be 9 for some.
First wide out off the board is where do you think? 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm starting to realize, and I believe this truly, I think Howie Rosen is going to go up and try to get Judy.
I'm betting that he's the first wideout off the board at like minus 120, whatever it is. I'm betting that.
Yeah, for me, I think he's superior to everyone else. But
all right, Jeff, I just hit both those. I hit Okuda exactly at 3 at plus 145 and under 4.5, which I should even put more on. I mean, that's ridiculous. To get plus money.
Did you bet the over 5.5 wideouts in the first round spread?
No, I saw it right there.
Yeah, I bet that one.
Yeah,
you guys got the best of that number, dude. Everybody's all over that. I'm seeing minus 200 on that now.
Oh, wow.
Let me go back. Let me make sure I got that right.
We got that at like minus 120.
It's minus 250 now.
Oh, wow. There you go. We nailed that one, Jeff.
Yeah, that one was a banger.
So do you guys like Judy as the first wide receiver taken?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
And I think it's an interesting shot to take what Jeff took on under a half wide out at plus 275.
Running back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, running back. Under a half running back at like plus 275. I like that, man. I like that.
Yeah, I'm looking for that one right now.
I guess it's possible that Jonathan Taylor or the kid from Clemson comes off the board in round 1, but I don't know.
I mean, Swift maybe. The only team that I think could take a running back would be the Dolphins because they have so many picks, but I think they have so many other needs that I don't see it. There's so many good players in the first round, even second round. It wouldn't surprise me if a running back doesn't go to like 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at that price, it's definitely worth taking the shot.
I wish there was a prop on this one guy, but there's no props being offered. I would be betting him. There's a guy that I really like, Stephon Diggs' brother. He's a corner. I think he's the second best corner in the draft. Nobody's talking about. But I can't find any props on him.
I've heard people talk about him. He went to Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders were throwing his name around, not at 19, but that they liked him and they could trade out of 19. And then,
Yeah, I love him. It's probably not going to ever happen, but I was hoping he would maybe fall to like 53 and the Eagles would take him. I love him.
All right, I'm going to check Bovada now because I went through all the 5 dimes ones. Do they not have football props? Oh, they're not even having these draft props up, huh?
How does that kid call that with a fucking 6? Jesus Christ. These fucking people, man.
I got to do a show tomorrow with fucking Blackjack.
Oh, really? What are you doing?
They do this. Him and LaDuca do this horse show on Saturday.
For Barstool?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. And has any news changed?
Yeah, I actually talked to Dave the other day. Yeah, everything's gonna be good to go. We just need to get sports back. Once we get that back, everyone's kind of.
Oh, good.
Kind of reaching and trying to do things. So
what are you doing? Basically, what we did, but with them.
No, I'm gonna be doing like a lot of blogging and.
No, I mean tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're gonna just do like I don't know if it'll be as long as we did it, but yeah, I mean pretty much.
What about CeeDee Lamb under 12.5? There's no way the Raiders don't pick him, right?
Yeah, I would venture to say that's likely.
I think I'm gonna throw a little quick 100 on that too.
You want the Raiders to take him, huh?
Yeah, and if you guys say that Judy's going to the Jets,
he's got to put on some size, man. CeeDee Lamb, he's like a fucking toothpick.
What about Derek Brown? I know you're high on him. I see his under 8.5.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think it's. I don't know if 8.5 seems a bit high though. I mean, I would feel like that's more.
You're basically betting that Carolina takes him, right?
Yeah. And I wonder with Matt Rule there how he looks at that, but yeah. I don't know. I think Carolina would be your spot. If he doesn't go to Carolina, I think you're kind of screwed because I don't think he would go till, who knows, to be honest.
Yeah. How about this one? The exact outcome of the first 3 picks: Burrow, Young, Okuda is plus 140.
I like that.
That think pretty much hits unless the Lions trade the pick, right?
I'm actually about to bet that, to be honest.
That's on Bovada.
Yeah, the fact that it's plus money is wild.
Quinnen Williams to go 3 last year was plus 300. So ridiculous. I nailed that.
Yeah, I'll never understand the taking a defensive tackle third, but
yeah,
that's just me.
That's the Jets, bro. Jets don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs is minus 125 to be the first offensive lineman. You can get Becton at plus 185. Or this one actually sounds. It really? I was saying,
only
Jeff
for
likes
100.
Wills.
The night that
Jeff
me,
likes
you,
Wills
and Jeff.
plus 350.
Yeah,
but the thing is, I liked.
Me and Jeff were talking about it.
But I only liked Wills if the Giants take him. If the Giants don't take him, I don't think anyone will take him that high.
Right, but the Giants are taking a lineman at 4, right? So when you're making this bet, you're just betting who the Giants take. I can't see. I mean, I guess the Lions could upset the apple cart and take one of these guys, but
yeah. But the thing is, I think at this point, I think it's safer to say that the Giants are going to take Simmons.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right, yeah. So I guess there's no value at that plus 350. Yeah, Judy's minus 105. I don't think that's a bad number.
I love it, man. I really think he's the best fucking player in the draft. Wideout in the draft. I really do. CeeDee Lamb's really good though, but I just think Judy's better.
How about this one? Jacob Eason draft position 47.5. Would you go over or under on that?
He didn't. He was terrible on the road this year. In Washington. Terrible.
I think I would go over there. That's basically the middle of the second round, right? I mean,
I couldn't back him this year unless he was playing at home.
Yeah. I think I would go over on both these. Eason over 47.5, and then Jake Fromm is over 59.5. So it's basically the Jake Fromm won't get drafted to the 3rd round. I feel pretty safe thinking that.
You think Fromm goes in the 2nd round, Jeff?
No. I think Fromm's more likely to get drafted earlier than Eason.
So do you like that Eason bet them better at over 47.5?
Yeah, he's not going to get drafted. If he does, it'd be late in the 2nd round, probably.
Yeah, I'm going to bet that right now. Minus 130, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I like that.
Dude, this draft is going to have the most ridiculous handle. Because I'll be honest, normally I'm not too big on the draft props. Like I might hit one here or there, if it just seems obvious to me. But I actually don't spend a lot of time handicapping it because usually the NBA is in full swing and, I'm already making money and got a ton of expenditures out there, where I don't really feel like I need to attack this market. But, I mean, this year I'm going to be all over it.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to bet it for sure.
Fathead thinks Gruden wants Ruggs. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he just sees Tyreek Hill all over him.
Yeah, he's really fast.
So. Patrick Queen is 25.5. You think he goes that late, Jeff?
What do you say it was? 25.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 24 could be possible.
Yeah, I think I would go under there. I don't think I'm going to bet it, but if I,
because the Saints lost Klein,
yeah,
linebacker. So
I even saw the Raiders looking at him at 19 too. So yeah, right now, if you do think Miami's going Herbert, second quarterback drafted, Herbert's plus 200.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Jay loves that Poker Stars.
Jets are plus 230 to grab Judy.
Jay would love that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it as long as my fucking quarterback doesn't see ghosts.
Don't you think that was totally overplayed, though?
Probably.
I mean, don't they say stuff like that like all the time on the sideline?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what I've been playing, Jeff? $100 heads up.
Yeah, that's the shit.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Although I'm in a tournament now.
Anthony was all over the place tonight.
Well, he doesn't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, he's shot.
An anonymous donor gives every household in an Iowa town $150 in gift cards.
That's not bad.
It's pretty nice. Did you get spread? Did you get your? Did anyone get their 1,200
for which one?
I did
from the government.
Oh, I haven't got mine yet. No.
Yeah, I applied for that small business loan. I'm waiting to hear fucking back from those fucks.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Do you have a EIN number?
No.
Damn.
I got pocket queens and a guy leads out. That's 4 times the big blind.
There you go.
All in.
Turn comes 9, queen, ace.
Oh, it sucks. Oh, wait, you hit the set?
Yeah.
Oh, you're set. Yeah, you can slow roll it. I mean,
he probably is ace king or something.
This kid's gonna have trip 9s. I win 22-5. Let's go, Jay. We'll take that.
Jay sucks at poker.
You think I suck at everything? I get no respect from you.
No, I'm kidding. You're good.
Jeff, can you believe the amount of fucking boxes that Portnoy's getting every night, bro?
Yeah, he's getting a lot. He actually said today that basically he's been getting pissed at people because certain people aren't doing any work. So he said he's going to start drafting people to come over there and clean up and shit.
It's actually unbelievable. Last night was 4 hours long. He was opening boxes.
I think he's still on now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool shit too. I'll tell you, man, that guy is just a funny dude. That Davey Day Trader shit, those pizza reviews. I mean, they're just, he's so funny to me.
That's why he likes me. He sees a lot of vision. Jay, he knows good when he sees it. No, he's a smart guy. He definitely. There's a reason Barstool is where they are. Do you watch Davey Day Trader, Jay?
Yeah. I'm not calling that. 4 threes. Wow. Yeah, I watch a lot of his stuff. He's just a funny dude. I would watch that guy even if he had nothing to do with Barstool. He just makes me fucking laugh. There were a couple times last night where I was rolling just watching him open boxes.
No, he's funny for sure. Los Alamitos is going on right now. You want in?
No. Definitely don't want in for Los Al. What else you betting over there, spread?
Nothing. I'm just playing poker. I'm not having the best night though. I was pretty much sitting around about. Well, I switched back to bet online, so I won over 100 on Bovada, and then I said I'll go back to bet online when my computer crashed. And then I was up about 20 or $30, and I had Ace King go against King King. And it's so funny because when you're shoving with Ace King, you're like, well, it's a race against us. It's against Ace Ace or King King. And it was against King King. So I lost a buy in there. So I got another $10 back here. So I'm just going to try and grind this out. Hopefully I can get another buy in here pretty soon. But been pretty card dead.
I'm in this $1,800 guaranteed shit right now. First place pays at that about 1,000. Pocket jacks on. Let's go. That's out 750, huh? 8, 9, ace. The worst thing you ever see in your life is when an ace hits the board and you're holding pocket jacks.
Yeah.
Now the kid bets out 965. I can't even call this.
I'd probably drop it too.
Could be representing.
Yeah.
I can't take the chance. I'm sitting right now in 6th out of 71 people.
Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy, dude.
I got a parlay on the horse. I need gold to win Newcastle round race 3 to pick up 1,800. I hope you fucking win, Fap. Connor, what's up, buddy?
Newcastle, Jesus. He betting Aussies.
Staying safe. Well, I mean, I got stuck with this fucking disease, but
Chris Cuomo sucks, man.
You know what I can't buy about him? His fake kindness.
He always seems
so fake, bro.
He always goes, "Let's get after it."
Hey Jeff, did you see that on Instagram yesterday? The 2 football players talking about Vontae Davis retiring at halftime.
No.
Oh, it was hilarious. I'll just have to find it and send it to you. I won't even be able to do it justice.
Sounds good. Gabe Morency's on right now. What the fuck's he doing?
On his own personal channel?
Yeah.
Do you still talk to Gabe a lot?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
You guys used to do a show like every night, right?
We used to do a show on. I used to go on a show Fridays. We used to do that like virtual stuff, but I don't really hear much from him.
gonna try to steal this pod, huh, you mutt? Oh, you got a jack? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. How about those trip queens, big boy? Eat my ass.
Why do you keep saying that, dude?
I can't wait till sports come back, man. I'm really looking forward to this, building up this channel.
Yeah,
dude, I want that baseball thing to happen.
Yeah, I know. I want to see it too. I want the A's and the Cubs to play all the time.
Yeah, I mean, as a start, I'll take it. Oh my God, I would have got a straight on the river. Fuck.
Damn, I gotta smooth things over with my girl, man.
Why shit's not going good?
Nah, we broke up.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's been like 16 months. I don't know. We've been having it's just been tough, you know. I have trouble with her. She's younger than me, and it's tough, you know. I'm just kind of in a different place, and she's kind of in one place as well.
How much younger is she than you?
7 years.
Oh, okay.
So she just turned 24, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be 30.
Yeah.
I'll be 31, so it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm giving her some time on her own, you know.
Your choice?
Yeah, it's kind of mutual. I mean, I care about her. I love her a lot, but I don't know.
The strain of like this whole fucking
It's tough too, yeah, because like I haven't seen her in almost a month, you know.
Sure.
It sucks. And like we don't live together, so it's not like we can just deal with it.
Fuck. Nothing fucking worse.
Spread, how long you been with your girl?
3 years.
Oh, whoa.
I got a bet out here. If you got an ace, you got an ace. Fuck, he called me. Fuck.
And you're out.
No, I'm still 8th of 80.
Poker Stars barely gives you any time to act. It's like
it's unbelievable, Jeff. It's really unbelievable.
10 seconds. It's like that stupid noise.
Yeah. They don't even let
you know what pisses me off about Bovada is theirs, like when you click fold, it'll beep even when it's auto folding you. Really? It just pisses me off so much. It's like it grabs my attention, then I'm like, wait, I already folded. And then there's times when it goes off and I'm like, it doesn't even grab my attention anymore because I'm just so used to it, you know?
Yeah.
I hate it. It's the most annoying sound too.
Yeah.
I can't stand these unlimited entries, bro.
Yeah, people just keep signing in.
Oh, I know. They're like, fuck it, it's only $30. But the price is going up. I mean, first place is paying $1,200 right now. You got a queen? I don't think you got a queen, bitch. OG, I feel pretty good, man, except around like 2:30 in the morning. I seem to get like a fever that goes up. But other than that, man, I feel close to normal. But I can't shake that fucking 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning fever. It spikes up to like 103. And then I kind of have a rough night of it in the bed. But I'm playing a tournament right now, but 86 people playing right now. We're sitting ninth. But you got to be, that's the thing about playing a tournament. You could be perfect 99% of the time, and that one hand could just fuck you up. I'm amazed at these guys that have all these bracelets in the World Series of Poker.
It's truly amazing, by the way, like not to interrupt, but it's amazing what like $2-3 million gets you in New York compared to like anywhere else.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like a house?
No, like a 2,200 square foot apartment. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah, sure. I can't believe Gulfstream's still running, Jeff.
Yeah, that ain't gonna stop running. I mean, you have to have horse tracks open. I mean, people need to, care for the horses and shit. And
yeah, that's the part I don't understand. Like, if people have to be there anyway, why is Santa Anita not running then?
Mm-hmm.
That's just political pressure. Same thing with
yeah, I mean, LA County's basically like, fuck, no, you're not going to do it. You're not running. I was watching this video today on YouTube about, I don't know why it popped up on my feed, but last year, like this kid in Wisconsin, 24 years old, he won the $670 million in the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? Imagine that much money.
Oh, this is going to be a hand that's going to fuck me up. I could see it already. I got Jack Queen, Queen of clubs. The flop comes Jack 5-7 of clubs. Two people all in.
I would drop it.
I'm not dropping it. He raised me. Fuck you. I'll call it.
And you're out. All right, fellas, I'm out.
All right, brother.
All right, Jeff. Have a good show tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll catch y'all later.
All right.
All right, man.
So, all right, Jay. Well, I think we had a pretty good show tonight. I liked having the topics on.
Yeah, man. It took me about 3.5 hours to make all those fucking graphics, but it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. And then it was like kind of fun. Some of them surprised me, like the Kaepernick one. Because I'd seen that happen because I think that guy's funny. Like he did another one yesterday too that got everybody. I think it was Cam Newton going to the Patriots, and it got everybody. And then Adam Schefter, answered. It was like, "This is a fake tweet," and he wrote back like, "No, it's real."
Oh yeah,
that guy's hella funny. He's got people so many times. Like, He always makes up these scenes that that seem like realistic, like the first tweet, and then they just get more and more ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. I'll be on tomorrow with
Ragu, right?
Yeah, with Jimmy and Ragu and Dom. They asked me to come hang out for the horses. So
Cool.
Yeah, I'll be betting. I'll probably, I don't know what I got in my fucking TVG account right now. Probably like $500. I'll fuck around with that tomorrow at Golf Stream. What are you doing tomorrow night, Spread?
I'm not sure yet. So just send me a DM and I'll know by then.
If you want to do something tomorrow night, I'll reach out to Ann and see if your girl wants to come on and fuck around.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, boys, we're out. Thanks for watching. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. If not, I'll see you tomorrow at noon on Jimmy's channel. We're out.